Well, hello and good evening. It is that time again. It is Teen Magic Academy time. Hey, SJ, tell us about this game.
This game is Kids on Brooms. It's a spin-off of Kids on Bikes. A little more crunchy than your Powered by the Apocalypse games we play a lot, but a lot less crunchy than like standard D&D, Pathfinder, Star Wars. So, pretty boring game though, actually. Not much happening. They're just going through some standard school days, basically. And yeah, so if you guys just want to talk about your characters and where you're at in this, boring school year, go for it. I think we usually start with Mish.
Right. I'm Misha, or Misha_3 here on Twitch. And I, Misha, know quite a few things that aren't boring, such as the at least 3, if not more, hags taking over our school and impersonating 3 of our teachers, including Professor Levi, and probably the doctor, and probably Miss Mesmer. The usual. But I play Kels, and Kels is having a pretty much normal time as far as things go. There was a weird incident with, I've forgotten the term for it, some sort of...
Null warts?
Yeah, null warts. Just an infection that makes you forget things. So missed 2 days, which is a lot. Usually she's only used to a couple minutes due to the visions that she has and draws. But she's cool with that. She's an expert at meditation now from the one meditation class she's taken, so no more visions. And it's definitely not related to drinking any sort of anti-vision potion. Well, she couldn't remember, but that's neither here nor there. The apology to Tim went better than expected, and she's waiting for the continual social collapse of her social network here at school. But that probably won't happen yet. Just catching up on the last few days that they forgot about. All right, Aspen.
Hi, I'm Sin, or Sinful__potato on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, most social media sites. I stream on Twitch. Tomorrow I will be streaming at 5:30ish Eastern time, which is 4:30ish Central time. Making arts because arts is fun and whatnot. I play Aspen, who is a haughty descendant trope. She's the animal expert of the group. Doesn't totally have a negative 5 billion house points. It's fine. It's cool. Everyone in her house loves her. She's super popular. Bestest character ever. Totally fine. Everything's fine. Also, I got potato. The potato. Twi.
Hello, I am Twi'lek, and I am playing Gustav. Gustav is a perfectly innocent Bab who has not been drinking strange potions like Kells or waylaying potatoes like Aspen, but has in fact been in the library studying and doing other library-ish stuff things, while Phineas tore out of the room in hot pursuit. Phineas.
Right. Well, so I don't remember much of what happened last time, and also neither does Phineas because we have had our brains wiped 3 or 4 times. So Professor Levi showed up in the library acting all sus. And I'm like, oh no, Calder, that's not Professor Levi, that's Granny. And then we had a good long time of figuring stuff out, and then we got our brains wiped again. And who knows, it could be 2 years in the future. We could have just been having our brains sucked out this entire time. But yes, we made a plan with Professor Ames to protect the students. And like, why are they after Tim? What's that about? Are they after Tim? Why do I think they're after Tim?
He's the 3rd Oracle.
Oh, right. Because Tim is the 3rd Oracle. And they don't want oracles around because oracles might figure out that they're taking over the school. So the whole point was that Professor Ames was going to take Tim off campus. And then Phineas was going to go say, yo, Granny, what's up? Why are you being so extra trying to take over my school? It's just the first semester. That you're going to save that for sophomore year. But then because Professor Ames is old and creepy, Tim was like, "What are you trying to do with the old man?" and ran away. So I had to go chase after Tim. And then we had a lovely moment in one of the empty classrooms. I was like, "It's okay," and I explained everything, and then Granny shows up. So that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. Well, Professor Levi showed up. You don't know.
Yeah, Professor
Granny.
Levi is either in a prison cell in Magic Prison, trying to tell everyone, "No, I swear I'm not a hag. I'm Professor Levi." Like, that's what a hag would say. Or he's in a hole somewhere in a ditch.
Right. So, yeah, Nullwork infection, awful thing. So kept wiping everyone's memory. These things happen.
It never happened.
I think it's Thursday night, I believe. And yeah, you guys, the last thing you guys know is Phineas gave you guys a really weird pep talk about things he admires or appreciates about you
Oh, that's right.
to each one of you. And then Kels wrote it down, but kind of just wrote it off as like, just Phineas being weird. And then you see him open the door and then just take off.
I think we also heard a piano slam.
You did, yeah, because when he opened the door, you would have heard the piano keys slam.
And then Tim took off.
Yes.
Professor Ames. Yeah, so it was a mad chase after Tim. So it's fine. Everything is good.
Yeah. So. And then, yeah, Phineas, you guys were about to leave. You gave the same pep talk to Tim
Yes.
right before, and
course.
then opened the door to see Professor Levi. And he smiles at you. What are you guys doing? Like, Kels, Gustav, Aspen, Calder, what was your reaction to Phineas running off after being all weird?
Aspen just stands there and waves.
Well, that's weird too, right? Right?
I mean, isn't it just Phineas doing Phineas stuff?
Normally, when Phineas does Phineas stuff, he's in the shadows rather than in the open.
That's true. Anyway, let's go check it out, I guess. And Kel's, well, it's sort of like a, we aren't in a hurry to go check it out. We're
Okay, so you're
packing
not
up our
running
bags.
after him. Or
We're not
any of you
running.
guys running after them.
Pretty sure running in the halls would lose house points, so Aspen's taking her time.
I think Kel's is hesitant because if Tim's involved, Tim was like, yeah, don't talk to me ever again. So it's like, okay.
Gustav?
Best not to
You did
abandon.
see Professor Ames also run off. I don't know if
That is
that
true.
influences your decision at all, Gustav. And you know, because you were in that conversation, the first one anyway, that something weird was going on. You don't know as much as Phineas, but
I think I'm going to stick with Kells and Aspen, since Aspen, at least, was specifically identified as not to be told about anything and to be kept in the dark. And therefore, Aspen knows nothing and could be vulnerable to surprise attacks from, I guess, Tim now. Tim must be the suspect.
okay, cool. So Phineas,
Yes.
Professor Levi walks in, kind of, which you guys all take a step back. Professor Ames, of course, immediately draws his wand, but Professor Levi closes the door behind him, and you see kind of a. Give me a brains roll.
Oh, God.
We'll say difficulty 5.
Yeah, no.
No? Okay. You see the door kind of like just darken a little bit as he takes another step into the classroom. What's going on here? Everything all right?
Well, that remains to be seen. I don't think that will be necessary, Professor. looking at Ames and his wand.
He reluctantly kind of lowers it. So, care to tell me what's happening here?
Oh, just a bit of a misunderstanding.
About what?
Well, the situation has been a bit fraught. And I think we're all just trying to piece things together because our brains have been scrambled.
What have you pieced together?
Well, that our brains have been scrambled by apparently repeated infections by some easy to cure disease.
Phineas, give me. I want to do another brains. Yeah, give me another brains roll. We'll say difficulty
I got a 6.
10. Oh.
I can't
Okay.
get a 10.
Well,
I mean, I can get a 10, but it's a very low chance.
Poe, we'll say Poe. It's a little too late, but he kind of directs your attention behind, and you see kind of some of the shadows on the walls creeping towards Ames before they grab Ames and pull him onto the wall.
And he's just struggling.
Okay. Yeah. He's struggling. Tim draws his wand because he's not sure what to do.
That's not going to help.
He goes to kind of whisper to you. He's like, if I can touch her, maybe I can figure out,
So, this all seems very unfortunate and unnecessary. Tim is my friend. He doesn't represent a danger to anyone.
Phineas, you have enough pets. Where do you have Poe?
I don't think pet means what you think it means. I've learned a lot of new lingo.
And what do you think pet means?
Well, I think pet is like a companion that like you take care of, and it loves you unconditionally, and is probably not the spirit of a mass murderer forced into crow form. I mean, no offense. I do adore Poe.
For shorthand's sake, statement still stands.
And Tim is a friend.
You're above Tim.
See, this is the thing I don't understand. Why does everyone always focus on being above each other? Who's more important? Who's more prestigious? Whose family is more this, that, or the other?
Not what this is about, Phineas. They're
Well,
just beneath you. They're not on the same level as we are.
well, I know they're not on the same level as you are.
Be like letting a dog eat at the table.
But that would be adorable, don't you think? Especially if you gave it a little hat, a little waistcoat, a little monocle. Taught it to speak.
Sure.
Well, what can we do for you, Professor Levi? That doesn't involve harm coming to my friend. Or my professor.
Well, your little friend and professor cause a bit of risk for what we're trying to do here.
Well, maybe if you explain what it is you're trying to do, they would understand it and not try to stop it, assuming it's not horribly sinister.
Seems like a waste of energy. Don't worry, they'll be off in a farm. Gonna send them somewhere they can be happy.
They can run free.
Yeah.
Well, but then the school would be empty. These are some of the best people here.
I find that hard to believe. Not even in Serpentis.
I know. What is that about? No one will tell me.
From what I can gather, it doesn't seem like it's very active anymore.
Or not at all.
Possibly. But regardless, we need to keep eyes on certain things happening here, and I can't have that one getting in the way. He seems to be protective of your Professor Levi.
Well, what's wrong with Professor Levi? He's not harmed, is he?
No.
Okay. Does he have a sudden affinity for, like, flies?
He's alive. I mean, I need him to be for now. Regardless, I need him out of the picture.
Professor Levi?
No. Ames.
Why?
Because he'll interfere.
Well, if you tell us what it is that you're trying to accomplish, he's fairly reasonable, aren't you, Professor?
And Professor Ames is just glaring at her. He's also very uncomfortable. It is clear these shadows are dragging him as if they're trying to drag him into the wall and not stopping or just holding him there.
I'm sure he can be reasonable.
Why so much energy poured into ants?
Well, because look, if he disappears or something, and then everyone's going to notice that, and then sooner or later, the other people are going to find out, and it's going to be like, wait a second, there's a whole lot of people losing their memories. That doesn't sound like a simple infection. Someone's going to come to investigate, and then eventually someone's going to find out, and then they're going to bring all the people, and it's going to be a whole situation. You know.
And what's your solution, Phineas?
Well, I don't know. Something that doesn't result in this place turning into a burning crater because of a battle.
That's not a solution.
Well, look, I mean, granted, the people here are terribly irresponsible to a certain degree.
Why do you think I'm here?
Well, yes, but not all of them. Professor Ames is precisely for the reason that you think that he's a bother. It's because he isn't irresponsible. And if you're here to fix something or prevent something, you might explain it to him and you might find that he can be reasonable. He's very smart and also very old.
By human standards, sure.
Well, yes, but I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, he's not, we tried very hard. I'm sorry, Professor, you might want to close your ears, so you can't. We tried very hard to set him up with Miss Mesmer. I think that was the one. Anyway. But he wasn't having it because he's a solid individual who knows himself and knows what he wants in life.
Right, well, as glad as I am you're having fun playing with your dolls.
That makes me uncomfortable.
You're setting them up?
Well, no. Look, we were just trying to cause chaos because there was a foretold sequence of
Not
events.
how I taught you to cause chaos.
There was a foretold sequence of events that we wanted to prevent, but we wanted to prevent it in such a way that we didn't wind up becoming expelled, in which case we wouldn't have been able to prevent them at all. So we decided to simply introduce a little bit of randomness into the equation. And there were cactuses involved.
Oh,
An Italian contest.
right. You're definitely your parents' child. Okay. What we're going to do is my way. Because you are the child. And I'm the granny. Give me a charm roll, Phineas.
Oh, God. Well. 8, because of the +1 on the stat.
Okay. You see her cast a spell towards Tim, and Tim suddenly falls to the ground.
I will go and check him to make sure he's okay.
He is still breathing, still has a pulse. Relax, Phineas. Wake up in 500 years or so.
No, he's my friend.
He's taking a nap. I didn't kill him.
I know. Well, what's supposed to happen now? So we're going to wipe our minds again, and then we're going to figure it out again. And if you keep wiping everyone's minds, everyone's going to notice eventually. It'll be a public health emergency, and they'll call in the authorities. Look, there have already been multiple murder attempts, as you well know, I assume. So at least some of the authorities are on heightened alert for anything weird happening. Heaven knows I and my friends have been preaching at people to take this sort of stuff more seriously and not just write off strange coincidences.
It seems a simple solution to me. I frame Professor Ames as a undercover blood mage. He takes out the students that are in need of being dealt with, put out of the way.
What students need to be put out of the way?
Your friends specifically.
No. My friends don't need to be put out of the way. They're very useful and nice.
Kells, while you guys are walking down to the classroom, you run into Miss Mesmer. Oh, Kels, perfect. I wanted to talk to you.
Oh, okay. Like here or...
Oh, no, back in my classroom.
Okay. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Gustav, Aspen, what are you guys doing?
We are continuing in our hot pursuit. In our lukewarm pursuit.
Hot walking, yeah, your pursuit walking, and you don't know where they went.
I mean, if you keep walking forward, you'll get somewhere eventually, right?
Sure. Well, we saw Professor Ames, so let's go to his office and see if Tim and Phineas were taken there.
Okay.
Cool. You guys go there. He's not in there. No one's in there.
Aspen, why did you follow my plan? It was a terrible idea.
I think you have good ideas sometimes, though.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot.
I mean, I guess we could always just go follow Kells and Miss Mesmer and just like wait outside the door. No, just in case, I don't know.
Sure. That seems as good a plan as any.
Cool. So Phineas, back in your room, Professor Ames is struggling against the shadows and yelling. He's like, "No, you're not going to get away with this!" And she just kind of walks up to him, puts her, then on just his mouth just disappears. Much better.
Well, I suppose this answers the question about whether he's actually secretly a bad guy. Clearly not.
Relative.
Well, look, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I don't know why I'm here to begin with, but now that I am here, I'm just starting to get comfortable. Well, I don't know if that's the right word. And now everything is all strange again.
Say like it's a bad thing.
Well, but it's not strange in a fun way.
What do you mean? This couldn't have been exciting. Well, aside from the obvious blood cultists and everything else.
And the possession. And the dance.
Sure.
But I can't very well go to the next dance if everyone is brainwashed, or if poor Professor Ames is framed as some sort of blood cult. I don't think anyone's going to believe that, though.
Why not?
Well, because he has battled the blood cult.
Could have been for appearances. Besides, when has he battled the blood cult?
Well, hasn't he?
Yeah. How old is he?
Oh, I don't know, like 100 years old or something.
Probably not. I don't think this iteration. I think this one's more recent.
Well, but all that stuff with Calder's family was relatively recent.
Right, but he was a teacher here.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't know how this stuff works. I'm just barely learning.
It's difficult to keep up with.
Well, look, why don't you just tell me what it is that you want, and maybe we can find a way to get it to you. Surely
I'm getting what I want.
Surely you realize that the longer you stay around here, that someone's eventually going to realize.
Maybe. But if that's the case, we'll just go to the other plan.
I don't know what that is, but I don't like the way it sounds. Does either plan involve me, like, not having to deal with all this?
Why are you so attached to the school?
Well, because I'm supposed to be, aren't I? Aren't I here so that I can learn and, form some facsimile of normal relationships and grow as a person and stuff?
That sounds overrated. I mean, I've spent time here, but it wasn't to grow or learn. It was just it is useful in some cases to learn about the human world and how they operate and everything. I suppose, if you're into that sort of thing. I mean, I had reasons why I was here.
Well, I was here, I assume, because I had nowhere else to go. And so I've made the best of it.
Well, yes, that's
and I don't like
I
don't like the idea of it being taken away.
You don't?
No, I don't.
So you would rather stay here in this school than say come back with me?
To where?
Wherever. What does it matter? The forest.
Oh, I do like the forest. It does feel quite like home. Why do I pass out when I read certain books?
Because you don't need to know the things in those books.
What are the things in those books, though?
I just said things you don't need to know, Phineas. For your own good.
Really?
Yes, really.
I don't think framing one of our best professors for a thing that he didn't do can possibly be for my own good. I don't think that assaulting my friend Tim can be for my own good. So forgive me if I'm a little bit dubious.
Well, those are... I'm sort of not really connected. It's connected, but not specifically... Is it kind of debating of what to say and what to reveal? It may seem as if it's not, but in the grand scheme of things, it is better for all of us.
And by us, do you include my friends?
Coven.
See, that's what I mean.
You don't like the Coven?
It's not so much that. It's just that I like my friends. And I like the school, sort of. I mean, you could do with a change. But I think the change is best if it's won through effort and convincing people and showing positive examples and building bonds of friendship. Not framing people and murdering people.
I bet that's just good fun.
Well, maybe. But Professor Levi is a lovely human being.
He does seem to care for you, as unwise his approaches may be.
I don't know that his approach isn't well. Perhaps he doesn't listen the way that I would like him to. However, he knows what he knows, and he does his best, and he has been very, very kind, and he's helped me with things.
He's also part of the organization that locked me away. Granted, he wasn't part of it exactly when it happened. He had left it by then, but still.
Well, I just assumed that it was no significant inconvenience for you to be locked away, that you could leave whenever you wanted.
Sure.
That sounded remarkably close to a lie.
Let's say the humans had help this time. There's a lot more at play than you would know.
Well, you should tell me. How am I ever supposed to become proficient and make good choices if I don't... Look, this is just as bad. Just so we're clear, this is just as bad as the people here. Oh, that's the thing that you don't need to worry about. Oh, leave it to me. And that's exactly what
Humans,
everyone...
when they say it, they don't mean it.
Oh, when they say it, they absolutely do mean it. It is completely sincere.
They can't back it up.
Well, sometimes they can. Professor Ames can.
There are very select few humans that I've met.
Well, Professor Ames is one of them. He's backed it up twice. He's been responsible for saving us from dying twice.
Even him. And there's a specific human I need in particular for the coming days, and that can't happen unless everything falls into place.
Why don't you tell me what it is that you need? And perhaps as someone who understands, has a bit more recent intel about the current state of things, I can advise you on a way to achieve what you're trying to achieve without causing unnecessary disruption that is likely to attract attention.
Because I know how you would react, Phineas. It's not time yet.
Do you?
Learned a lot from being Professor Levi as well as from his notes to know.
Well, if it involves murdering a bunch of people, I'm not down for it.
Murder. Other words. Look. There is another option, but I know you won't like it and you're not going to go for it. So just, if you let me do it my way.
Well, look.
It can be as close to normal as possible compared to the other plans.
Well, why don't you tell me what the other option is? I've grown and changed.
That's the problem, Phineas. I think you've been corrupted by this place.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
I need another one of your little friends.
Oh, what for?
As I said, I need everything to fall into place, and given certain events, I can't guarantee that that will happen if they stay at this school.
Oh. Who?
Doesn't matter.
Yes, of course it does.
Cadus's vessel.
Say it again.
Cadus's vessel.
I don't know what that means.
The boy. Calderon.
Oh, that's his father's name. Is that right? Cadus?
Not exactly. Well, his father goes by Cade, as if that's makes him connected, but...
So what do you want to do with Calder? Because he's also a good friend.
I'm sure he reaches his potential and destiny.
Look, you and I both know that you are no fan of blood magic.
It has its uses.
Oh, can you remove blood magic curses?
Well, it depends on it, but I would... If I get Calderon and he reaches his potential, then yes.
Well, that's not going to help Rudy at all.
In the future, it could.
Well, in the future, but he's suffering now.
There's but big difference between suffering for... How old is Calderon now?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, suffering for a few years versus the rest of his life? Or into adulthood anyway.
I don't think Calderon wants to go with you, though.
Doesn't matter.
It does, though.
It doesn't. How
It
would
should.
it matter?
It
Why?
should. Well, because he had a terrible time and is just now becoming comfortable and forming connections.
The boy is a tool. It's a means to an end, Phineas.
So I don't
He's
think
never
that
meant
that's
to be
necessarily
more.
true. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that he has a right to make his own decisions about his life. I think part of the problem is that everyone treats him like he's a tool. But he isn't. He's a
Butcher
child.
doesn't take the opinion of the cow, Phineas.
I don't like that at all.
You are way too attached to these mortals.
Well, they're quite nice to me sometimes. Even when they are stitching and things like that. Not so much Calder. He's never put a foot wrong.
Kels. You get with Miss Mesmer, who, once you walk into the room, give me a brains roll.
13.
Okay. You notice the door locks behind you.
Cool. Completely normal.
Why don't you step into, there's something in the closet I need. Just grab me one of those spheres in the very back.
In the very back of your closet?
In the very back.
Professor, I think it's a little rude for me to go rooting around in your closet, don't you think?
I think if it was, I wouldn't have told you to do it.
Okay. Cool. I slowly approach the closet. If I do the thing where you stand at the edge of the closet, like that one over there, that one?
Very back corner, yes.
Very back corner. Okay. Is there anything I could use to keep the door open surreptitiously?
Yeah, if you want to just stick something in, like just a doorstop or something, like a box or whatever.
Yeah,
Unless you're saying magically.
Yeah, I'll just be like, oh, let me just get this out of the way, and I'll grab a box and I'll put it on the door frame area, and then head back into the back of the closet.
She follows you in there.
Oh, cool.
Kicks the box out,
Oh,
like into the room as she goes in behind you, and then you hear the door close.
are you feeling okay, Professor?
A little hungry.
No, I throw that orb at her. That's not the best move, but it is my first instinct.
Give me a, let's see, what would that be?
I have
roll?
a D4 brawn. This will be hilarious.
Give me a fight roll. We'll do
fight? Okay.
Yeah. I'll give her a flight roll. Oh, she got a nat 1, so.
All right, I got a 12. I'm sorry, 8. Why did I do that? All right, yeah, an 8.
She is severely underestimated you. Did not expect you were onto anything, her at all. So she's like closing the door behind whatever, looks up, says like, oh, a little hungry, and then as she looks up, gets a spear to the face.
All right, it's time to run. So I'll try to run past her out of the closet.
All right, give me a flight roll.
Yeah. No. 12.
Okay. Are you going for the locked door?
Let's see. When we carry things in our backpack, like brooms aren't typically carried around in the school, right?
What's today? Thursday? Did you have PE today? That's my question.
Let's see.
I did ask Coach Harding about dancing. I think that was today.
I think that might have been the previous
No,
day.
it was the previous day.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are on day 2 class. So probably not.
Yeah, probably not. In which case, I am going for the locked door. Wand out. I've learned about unlocking things.
You have.
So-
Give me a brain roll difficulty 10. It is a snap decision, though.
Yeah. I'm going to use a major boon.
Okay. Don't forget to add your magic die.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't think it would have helped there. Well, it might have, but I already used the thing. That is a 20.
Okay. You just like flick it as you're on the run. You don't trip over anything. You're super efficient. Not typical horror movie trope. You're quick, perfectly unlock it, open the door, I assume slam it behind you, and if you want, you can even lock it behind you, because you...
Yeah, I will
Okay.
do that. I'm sure it won't slow her down that much, but... All right.
You run into Gustav and Aspen. Who
Go,
have
go, go,
gotten
go,
to the
go, go,
room
go,
at
go,
this
go.
point.
She's trying to eat me. She's trying to eat me.
Wait, what?
We are. I am shoving them onto the banister, and we are writing that down.
Dear
We
God,
gotta
I
go.
hope Professor Hara doesn't see us.
Aspen too worried about house points to worry about the fact that you're saying someone's trying to eat you.
Kels, this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. Banisters have the lovely bit on the end. It's going to hurt.
Gustav,
Yeah,
give me a fight
so-
roll.
So it's gonna eat. Sorry, what roll?
Gustav, give me a flight roll. We'll say difficulty 7.
15.
Okay. You're able to get off the banister without, like, when it gets to that bit, you're able to jump off and you're fine.
All right, closest professor to where she is at the bottom of the tower. Is it Professor Levi? I bet it is.
Oh no! Dr. Tetsuya
Dr. Tetsuya.
Yeah, no.
sees you all running down. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Where's the fire?
Up there.
Miss Mesmer was acting super weird. She said she was going to eat me.
I'm sure it was a misunderstanding. She said she was going to eat you.
She locked me in the room, told me to go to the back of the closet, and then shut the closet door behind me. That's very inappropriate.
And you think that meant she was going to eat you?
She said I'm going to eat. Well, she said I was a little hungry. What do you think that means? In a closet. Sorry,
I
Doctor.
think it just means she's a little hungry, but that's fine. Like, if it makes you feel better, come with me. We can go talk to her.
No, I don't want to talk to her. I think she's probably had. Also, I might have done some self-defense at her.
Oh no. What did you do?
She told me to grab a crystal ball and I threw it at her when she locked me in the closet.
And you hit her
Yeah,
with the crystal ball?
probably. I ran away because she said she was going to eat me.
Okay, well, she is probably passed out on the floor from a head injury. I don't see her behind you.
Well, we took the banister.
She couldn't have taken the banister or something else.
I assume professors don't take banisters. No offense.
Okay, but they'll eat you.
Yes.
Okay, are you feeling all right?
I was feeling all right until Professor locked me in a closet, yeah.
What about you, Aspen, Gustav? Did you hear or see anything? Hello?
Dr. Tetsuya,
Yeah.
Kels is the single most honest person I know.
That's great, Gustav. You
I-
taken anything recently, Kels?
Only the stuff you gave me.
Anything I gave you was not have this reaction. Well, you're an oracle. All right, well, come with me. I don't want you out of my sight for this.
Okay.
He's gonna go back up the stairs with you guys.
Oh my god, second time today.
Gotta get the steps in.
Yeah, I gotta get those steps in. Phineas. Where were we?
Granny was being impossible.
Right. So,
Like, you're just going to do what you're going to do, right?
Well, if that was the plan.
Well, then why
I'd
are
like
we...
to do so without having to do anything negative to you, but if you're going to misbehave...
Well, I am, after all, my parents' child.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I know precisely what that means. Maybe we could form an agreement. You can tell me what that means. And then I'll stop misbehaving.
Means nothing good.
Well,
Parents were terrible people. Told you that before, Phineas.
I'm sure that's true, but I'm very curious.
Your mother in particular,
Hmm?
a little too curious for her own good.
See, runs in the family.
Yeah, apparently. It was her downfall.
Hmm.
She did some things that she really should not have done.
Like what?
Well, it resulted in you, for one,
Oh, I
which
see.
is great. That's fine. But caused a lot of problems. Which is why it's so important to keep you safe.
Well, I can't be safe in an environment where people are being snatched into walls by shadows and knocked unconscious for 500 years.
I'm the one doing it.
Well, it's going to attract attention. I keep trying to tell you that.
This school has had enough attention without me here.
Yes, your opportunity to sneak in with no one suspecting anything was probably before the several high-profile attempted murders.
Well, it was before your professor visited me.
I told him.
Told him what?
Well, he probably used a commercial mirror.
You didn't want me interacting with your professor?
No, I just didn't want him to go away because he's helpful to me.
Well, he directly goes against our interests.
Well, but my interests are things
So
like...
he seems it seems like it's for your best, Phineas, and he may think he has your best interest, but he doesn't have all the information.
Well, but you could give him all the information. You could give
He
me
still
all the
wouldn't.
information. Well, you don't know. People are strange.
He cares about all the other humans too much. You're far more important than them.
Why is that?
What do you mean, why is that?
Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, I think I have a stronger moral compass. I haven't worked with the mob once.
Phineas, they're bugs to us. They don't matter.
Oh, but see, I don't think that's
Their
true.
lifespans, it's almost not worth it.
Oh, I don't know. This conversation is making me unhappy.
Okay, well, you were the one who insists on having it.
No, I wanted answers.
You want me to do what you want to do.
Yes. It's something you never tried.
For good reason.
Really? How do you
Children
know?
never know what's best for them.
You never know.
Give me a charm roll.
Yeah, no, 3.
Okay. You don't even know a better solution.
Well, I don't know what you're trying to accomplish, so I can't possibly offer a better solution. I already offered the try to explain to Professor Ames what it is that is coming to pass that needs to happen in a certain way. As long as the outcome isn't the destruction of all mortals, which would be foolish, and you're not foolish. It's possible that an enlightened and powerful mortal like him could understand and could come to an accommodation. That was my suggestion.
She looks at Professor Ames, who is just still struggling against the shadows and not a happy person right now.
Professor Ames, you're quite reasonable, aren't you?
And he just angrily nods yes.
See? Even in his anger, that in his mistreatment, he's still quite rational.
I've already put the boy to sleep, and I've already did that, and there's also the other thing that's probably already happened by now. So I feel like we're too far at this point.
It's never too far to take a more strategic approach.
I feel like this is plenty strategic.
How many times have we figured out what's going on? Twice at least? Maybe more?
So your solution is for me to let this professor go, the one with the strongest moral compass in the entire school, and believe that he is not going to interfere at all with my plans.
I think if you, as you have suggested, if you are attempting to do something, I don't want to say good, but, if it makes sense, I think that he cares very much. Sorry about this, Professor. He cares very much about what happens to the school and what happens to the students. I think that with an appropriate combination of explanation and leverage, he could be convinced to assist, or at least not overtly get in the way.
But I would still remain here. We would all still be here.
Why? Do you need to be?
Yes. Seen what's happened already with this Calderon boy.
Well, that wasn't his fault.
No, I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying there are other parties trying to kill him, and I can't have that.
Well, on that we agree. Look, how easy would it have been to simply glamour someone in whatever ministry to believe that you three are inspectors, and I assume it's only the three of you, and to have you set up as some sort of observers. Like, you didn't have to go through all the risky stuff of impersonating people.
I wanted to check in on you, and I already had I had to replace what was missing. Besides, now we have more strategic positions in the school.
Mm. I mean, it's not like it's the headmaster.
Yeah, can be.
Well, then what's going to happen is Professor Levi just going to disappear?
No, I would still be Professor Levi.
Well, then is one of the other sisters, the person there, Dr. Satsuya, going to just disappear?
No, we have other sisters we could bring in.
See, pretty soon, where that goes is that all of the sisters are here pretending to be teachers. And while some of them might find that amusing for a time, I think you and I both know they wouldn't enjoy it for long.
You do have a point there, and while we can satiate for now on the ones we want to get rid of, if he's going to be my scapegoat, I can't just let...
Well, he can't be the scapegoat. How about someone who's actually bad?
Like who?
There's got to be people around. There definitely are evil forces working against the school. I mean, that's kind of a given, don't you think?
Yes. So the word evil is very relative.
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to frame people for being blood cultists trying to come in and wreck everything, why not track down the blood cultists trying to wreck everything? Then you don't have to fake all the evidence.
I don't think you understand the sides here, Phineas. Kells, you guys get to the top of the stairs. He goes into Miss Mesmer's classroom. The door is locked, he's like, huh. Say anything? No.
No, I'll let him puzzle this one.
Okay, so he'll just quickly unlock it and then open it, looks around. Miss Mesmer? What are you guys doing?
I'm standing on the landing with my arms crossed. I'm not going in there.
Gonna lurk in the doorway.
Okay. Kells, give me... say a grit roll. Difficulty 7.
Let's see. I use adversity tokens to get to 7.
Okay. You feel a presence behind you.
We look.
It's Miss Mesmer.
Oh, shit.
Arms folded, staring very angrily at you.
And glare at her.
Does
she look like she got hit in the head with a
She does look like she got hit in the head.
Okay, good.
You'd see a bump forming.
Delicious.
Kells. My classroom. No.
I don't want to go in the classroom because you locked me in and trapped me in a closet.
You would have given me time to explain before you assaulted me with the item I asked you so nicely to retrieve.
Well, you can explain out here.
Give me... I'll do a charm roll. Yeah, we'll just do contesting charm rolls.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here.
I got a 6.
Okay, she beat you by... Wait. Okay, no. So you're like, oh man, I may have actually just assaulted a teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm probably in trouble and I'm making it even worse by being indignant.
I am indignant, but I'll be like, fine.
Cool. All right, so you head in there. Aspen, Gustav.
As this exchange is going on, I would like to look at Dr. Tetsuya's face. What does he think of the exchange?
What is what?
What does Dr. Tetsuya think of this exchange between Kells and...
Well, he is in the classroom looking for Miss Mesmer, like looking in the closet area. which she isn't there.
And is there is this just a long hallway up, or are there multiple rooms on the way up?
There's multiple. Oh, well. You're on the top floor.
Yeah.
Well, the only one that's a little bit higher is probably the astrology, but.
So it's a little weird that if I was she was in there and we just went from the bottom and then we walked all the way up, that she would show up behind us. Unless she stopped somewhere on the way down and was out of the way for...
Oh, yeah, there would be... Yeah, there's floors on the way down, because you guys were headed, down. Because this is the top floor. So Gustav, Aspen... I know Aspen was in the doorway, so Gustav, you followed him into the classroom? Okay. So he turns around... and then sees Miss Mesmer probably ushers Aspen into the room since she's standing in the doorway. And then has you go in, Kels. And then she has you three stand. So care to explain why you felt the need to assault one of your instructors?
Yeah, it's weird when you close the closet door behind somebody. I don't like the dark. It makes me a little panicky.
Good to know. And then you hear the door lock and the lights go off.
God, son of a gun.
I would like to draw my wand and cast a fireball.
In the dark. Okay. Where are you casting it?
Directly at Miss Mesmer. Well,
Okay, where you last saw Miss Mesmer. Okay. First, give me a fight roll for the fireball. We'll say it'll be difficulty 10 to cast it controlled.
And this would no AT because this is a action,
Snap decision.
right?
You can use AT for snap decisions. You just can't share AT. Like, you can't give it to somebody else during their snap decision.
Or take half.
And you can't take half.
In that case, I would like to spend AT to succeed.
Okay. So you get a 10. Now give me a brains. Give me brains or grit. To see if you actually aim it in the right place. We'll just do difficulty 10 as well.
18.
Okay. So as you're getting the fireball ready to cast, it kind of lights up the room a bit so you can see where she's already shifted to. And you already see her features are not fully Miss Mesmer anymore. But you're able to cast it at her, and you do hit her. Kel's, Aspen, what are you doing?
Unlock the door,
Aspen
unlock
would
the
like
door.
to reach out to hold on to Kells just so that she knows that she's there type deal. To
Right.
not be too afraid.
This is literally the worst. I'm going to try to unlock the door.
Kels, you hear something shifting kind of behind you. Like unnatural sounds.
Well, I'm going to dodge while unlocking the door.
Okay. Give me a flight roll. We'll just do difficulty 10 again. Oh, I guess I can roll for...
Oh,
What would that be
18.
for them?
Ooh.
19.
Ooh.
I'll just give it to you. So you hear that, like, as you go to unlock where you think or go to walk over towards the door, and you're like, oh god, and you kind of move and take Aspen with you out of the way, and you hear something next to you kind of move where you were and reach out, and then you look over and see a pair of glowing eyes.
We scream? And then we unlock the door.
A fire has begun.
Good.
How could that
You
have
hear
happened?
an unnatural scream as Gustav has hit this hag, but she is not attempting to avoid setting things on fire. Like she's on fire, she's touching stuff. Things are getting set on fire.
The worst.
So now you see, at least it's lit up a little bit more. But you do see, you have the hag eyes that you see over there, and then you see this burning figure very angrily start moving towards Gustav.
Can you use the knockback spell thing that we learned in the defense class?
You can absolutely try. Give me a fight roll, and then I'll contest this one.
Oh, she's not casting a spell. She's just gonna go sock her in the jaw.
It's gonna go punch her in the face. You need to beat a 19, unfortunately.
Oof.
Can I
That sounds
use stat or adversity tokens?
Yeah, you can use adversity tokens.
And don't forget your magic die.
Yeah. So can I use 4 to get a 20?
You can.
Don't mess with Aspen.
So you're going for the flaming one or the one, like, are you going for Miss Mesmer or Dr. Tetsuya?
Miss Mesber, because it looked like she was coming towards Gustav.
Okay. So she is very focused on Gustav right now, so is more focused on countering whatever he's doing. And you're able, just as she's about to grab him, knock her back enough. It doesn't do a ton, because you barely succeeded, but you did succeed, so you're able to knock her back and let Gustav kind of scramble back. And then you hear where Dr. Tetsuya was, a more feminine voice kind of screech out, "Stop playing with your food."
Oh, they gotta eat y'all.
Did I successfully unlock the door, or do we
Give me... there's been too much going on for you to be able to try to unlock the door yet. You're gonna have to give me another light roll if you're trying to just normally dodge.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And then I will... Oh, that's not as good.
Just an 8 here.
Oh, well. They also got an 8, but luckily they have magic die, so... Okay, so... You go back... I assume your attention goes back to try to unlock the door.
Mm-hmm.
But as you do, you feel... shadows start to just go around your legs and start to move up your body.
Oh, this is worse. This is everything that's bad.
Aspen, also give me a fight roll.
It's a 5.
Okay, same thing. Gustav, what do? You were able to scramble back when Aspen knocked back Miss Mesmer, but she is still going for you.
I am going to bring my wand backwards, still sparking from the flame spell, and brush it towards Kells and Aspen, where the shadows are clinging towards them, and I'm going to try and burn away one of these shadowy limbs that is holding Aspen down
Okay.
while grasping for her.
It's smarter than you think, because light versus shadow. Give me a fight roll. Just keep in mind you are leaving yourself vulnerable to Miss Mesmer by doing so.
11.
With the magic die?
We'll say you've slowed it. So it's not like going up as much, it's struggling to keep moving up, but it's not completely gotten rid of it. Miss Mesmer essentially takes the flames that are on her body and they just kind of move down. She gets it into her hand, and I don't mind my food cooked, and goes for you, Gustav, with the flaming hand. Give me a flight roll. I'll leave her.
That would be
14.
I scream very long and loud as I am cooked alive.
Cool. Phineas.
We have boons and stuff, though. Just saying.
Phineas, so you guys were discussing possible alternatives unsuccessfully, going back and forth, not really getting anywhere.
Well, and specifically, without saying it, that she can't trust the sisters. Especially not in large numbers.
Right.
Because they're apt to do all sorts of things.
Almost as if something like that is happening.
Right? But this is before that.
Right. So what is your full plan?
My full plan?
Yeah.
Well, I think you should talk to Professor Ames. Tell him what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Convince him that it is in his and everyone else's best interest to assist you as the best way to limit the collateral damage.
That's the problem, Phineas. It isn't.
Well, you should find you should find a way that limits the collateral damage, but that still accomplishes what you need. It doesn't have to be a zero-sum game. That's wisdom.
So you think. It's more complicated is what it is. He is fond of his Professor Levi.
And his school, and the students, and breathing. And having 2 legs, not 4.
Well, he kills me. He kills Professor Levi, so... Well, not necessarily, but I mean, Professor Levi wouldn't... I don't think he'd be too happy in the situation he'd be left in.
See, you have all the cards.
Of course. But I don't like the way you're limiting how I play them.
You asked me what my plan was.
I was hoping for a better plan.
No, you were hoping for burn the place down. You could bring back Serpentis.
Could. It might... I mean, I could do plan B.
What is plan B?
Yourself and Calderon go with me.
But then I won't be able to go to the winter formal.
Fine, then just Calderon.
Well, but then he won't be able to go to the winter formal.
Phineas. There's plenty better things than a simple school dance.
Are there?
Yes.
Really?
Of course.
I don't know about that.
Our dancing is much better.
No, I like it. Look, getting smalls. You should try it.
Okay.
Come on. Let me show you.
She will give me a charm roll.
Oh. Oh. That's 4, 2, 6, 7.
Okay, sure. She'll go ahead and humor you for a moment. Meanwhile, Tim is still passed out on the floor. Professor Ames is still, without her mouth stuck to the wall, just watching this happen. And other things are happening. Okay, dancing's great, Phineas, but you can do it anywhere.
But I like to do it when Tim plays the piano for me, and I can dance very well. And I need to teach Calder.
Okay, so
I think Tim and I should leave the conversation to the adults. And you and Professor Ames can work things out. And if you both agree to a course of action, then who am I to complain? I mean, unless you mind control him, because that won't be like an actual agreement.
I mean, it's just making them more agreeable.
Yes, but I think if you can, it's not beyond your capabilities to simply persuade someone.
The issue is I would still need a scapegoat.
Well, I'm sure we can find someone. I'm sure Professor Ames has ideas.
All right.
He might even be able to help you find someone who would be believable.
But just to let you know, either Calderon goes with me or we stay here. That's the deal.
Well, I think you should work that out with Professor Ames.
Okay. Don't go too far.
Oh, and Tim.
I haven't figured out the deal yet.
Well, you can always put him back to sleep if you want. Consider it a gesture of good faith.
Play in the forest while we talk.
Oh, excellent. And my other friends too, I assume.
I don't know where your other friends are.
Well, we'll go find them.
Well, just leave the adults to talk.
All right.
When you open the door, it goes to the Forbidden Forest.
Great.
She will cast some magic, and Tim will groggily kind of wake up, get up, looks around, and it's like, oh no, it was not a dream.
Come along, we're going to go play in the forest while the adults talk about things.
Okay. He'll just
Just
very nervously
grab his hand and pull him out.
Okay.
And then wait for the door to close and disappear. And kind of...
The door stays there,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's closed.
Then I'll move us a bit away from it. It's like, all right, well, I think you're free. I think I've convinced her to give Professor Ames' mouth back so I can talk some things out. The question is, do we try to make it back to the school? And rally the
Where
troops?
are we?
We're in the Forbidden Forest.
Yes, we need to get out of here right now.
Well,
Do you know how many deaths I've seen in this place?
or we can look we could look for the cat. The cat person. Cat thing. Maybe it's a teacher, who knows? The
Tim is
thing,
very confused.
so there's a cat creature that was in Kel's vision, and that saved them when they were in the Forbidden Forest last, and probably is also responsible for freeing her broom from the giant spiders and bringing it back to her room. So a friendly player.
Okay, well, how about we hope they find us as we're going out of the
Sounds
forest?
like a good idea. Here, kitty, kitty. Puss, 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 puss.
Okay. Tim is just like freaking out. He's wandering, just every little sound freaking out.
Here, hold my hand.
He very hesitantly goes to hold it. He's not very used to contact.
Are you getting visions of my impending demise being ripped apart by the denizens of the Forbidden Forest?
No.
Well, then it probably won't happen.
Well, I'm not getting anything. I always get something.
Well,
Even if it's old age.
who knows? Let's go.
Okay.
I will pull him. But I'm keeping him close in case I need to get us out of there faster. But we're going to attempt to go and figure out what's going on. Because I don't think... Oh, well, Professor Ames is smart, and she closed his mouth on his ears, and he might have figured out that I was just I'm putting all of my faith in him to pull one over on her.
Yeah. Sure, that will go super well.
Well, probably not, but at least it...
Don't mind me over here.
At least it
you guys
bought us time.
Well, it seems like you're rolling some sort of fight
He's
maybe
old and
going on
smart.
right now.
No, I could be doing charm rolls.
Oh yeah, is he about as charming as like the rest of our party minus Aspen?
But if he was all smooth and oily, she wouldn't believe it.
Cool. Kel's, Aspen, Gustav. Kel's, Aspen, you guys are still got shadows up to your knees. Gustav, are actively burning and screaming.
You're on fire.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Fight fire with fire, you know?
Yeah, if you could just also pull the fire off of your body and send it back at her, if you just had that ability, that would be really handy right now, I think.
The other side of the classroom, though, there is still some fire spreading. It's not going super fast, but it's spreading. Hopefully it doesn't hit anything. It would make it spread worse.
Yeah.
What do you guys do?
Hopefully not. Also screaming, I think. Screams all around, I think. In a general sense. Shame we're at the highest.
Let me do something really quick. You guys continue being...
I'd like to try to
having fun.
use the ice spell thingy that I froze Phineas with. Put on the fire.
Putting it on the fire or putting it on Gustav?
On the fire.
Okay.
Like the fire in the back of the room or the fire that's on Gustav.
Fire
So we're gonna let
on
Gustav
the back
burn.
Of the room.
Okay, we're letting Gustav burn and we're putting out the fire that might signal something's wrong in the room.
Yeah, Aspen is clearly Team Hag.
Gustav is actively burning, screaming. Aspen, give me a fight roll to cast icy wind towards the fire in the back of the room.
Plenty of oxygen. Plenty of nice chilled oxygen.
The 3.
Yeah, just so you know, you're also using quite a bit of the oxygen in the room. So. You had a 3?
Yep.
Cool. How
It
do
says that
I-
failed by more than 5 and therefore is a catastrophic.
Yeah. We'll say you do actually cast a bunch of ice towards the other side of the room, but it just immediately melts. But you take more. You guys feel like you're having a harder time breathing all of a sudden because the oxygen is getting eaten by the fire. You just used it to make a bunch of water or a bunch of ice, taking the condensation and oxygen out of the air. Not to mention there is now smoke filling the room.
Yeah. That's cool. I'm gonna make light on my wand, like a lot of it, like a lot. Maybe that will dispel shadow if it's very light.
Yeah.
Maybe
like your
it'll
flashlight
blind
smoke.
everybody. Also, I won't tell my companions to close their eyes because Aspen made a bad decision anyway, and I think I'm pretty much panicking.
And if
Sure.
Gustav is blind, he can't see himself burning alive.
Yeah, it'll prevent him seeing the chaos. That's some sort
Give
of.
me a flight roll or
I think it's
brains roll difficulty 10.
yeah. Wow.
We have things if you need them.
It'll be your magic die.
I'm just going to use a bunch of adversity tokens to counteract that one that I rolled
Oh,
and get an 11 because my magic die was more powerful.
Cool. You cast a bunch of light. I mean, you barely succeed, but you succeed enough to where, again, the shadows aren't crawling up your body further. You're able to keep them sort of at your knees.
Cool.
It does cause some pause too in the hags just because it's bright light. You also let me look. You hear the door jiggling, and someone from outside. You hear an adult male voice. Hey, is everything okay in there? There's smoke coming out from under the door.
Help! Hags! Fire! Cough.
Which at that point you hear magic basically being cast at the door. Phineas, what are you doing with Tim?
we are making our best time back to school.
Great. Give me a brains roll.
Ugh.
Brains or grit.
Oh, okay, grit's better for me.
And you can use your added stuff because you're in the Forbidden Forest.
Oh,
Feels
that's
like-
right.
So difficulty 10.
Cool. Okay, so that is 13.
Cool. You see a patch of like these mushroom type things, and you know if you walk down that way, it's going to give you some very interesting side effects if you were to walk down that way, which might
Tempting.
affect negatively you trying to make your way back to the school.
Tempting.
Because just walking in that area would disturb it, and they would just immediately start releasing spores into the air.
Okay. When we come back next time.
What?
The mushrooms. Just don't step on them or get near them.
Okay.
Spores up the nose, into the brain.
Yeah. You tactfully are able to avoid where they are. Okay. Back in the classroom, the door flies open. A bunch of smoke flies out.
And there's a backdraft and everyone's incinerated.
Yeah, the flame
And-
with Gustav picks up a little bit.
Yeah.
You
the
remember how
flames
to stop,
definitely-
drop, and roll, right?
Right. So someone comes in. I don't know if you can. You're probably having a hard time seeing right now. But if you want to, you can try to give a brains roll or a grit roll. We'll say difficulty 13 because you're choking on smoke. It was dark in the room. You're just getting the light from outside the classroom is kind of casting a shadow.
I got exactly 13 for brains.
I got 11 for brains.
Okay. So you recognize it as the new school resource officer.
Mm.
So he comes in, immediately sees the fire, which he starts casting, sort of fire hose situation, specifically on Gustav first, because he sees someone on fire immediately. So that's his first business, which he's able to do successfully. Like, just he instantly bursts open the door, sees Gustav on the ground, assesses that, cast to put him out. But unfortunately, that kind of gives the hags a beat to do something of this person that has just come into the door. Okay, actually, he might be okay. Okay, maybe not. All right, so as he comes in, what are you guys doing? Gustav, you've just been put out. You're not very comfortable right now. Like, your body hurts. You definitely have burns on your back half.
I follow the line of the shadow limbs back towards Dr. Tetsuya, and I cast on him a transfiguration spell. What it is doesn't actually matter, because I've been told over and over again that bad things happen to people who are human transfigured. So, a cactus, maybe. Just his entire body.
Give me a brains roll. This is going to be really hard because you were just on fire. There is smoke in the room, and you kind of have to like crawl your way around Kells and Aspen to try to cast on Dr. Tetsuya. So give me a brains roll, difficulty 17.
I will meet that with adversity tokens.
What? Can you spend a minor boon to more than meet it, so it's not just a barely?
Well, I'm trying to think of. You know what, Major Bane?
Oh, how dare you!
You don't use your adversity tokens, so I'll let you keep what you were going to use for your adversity tokens.
That means you have to reroll.
$13.
So you have so much smoke in your eyes. You go to cast where you think they are, and you end up hitting the school resource officer who just put you out. Because you were on fire, right? So you're on fire, you're suddenly not on fire anymore. You look up, you see a male sort of figure, and you're thinking, oh, Dr. Tetsuya, he's coming for me. Cast it and hit him. It's not a successful transfiguration, but you do end up causing like little thorns essentially to come out of his skin. Kells, Aspen, what are you doing? While the school resource officer has just been cactied and is still not really sure what is happening. He just heard fire, saw smoke coming out of the room.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make the shadow go away again.
Okay, same thing.
More light, yeah. That's a 11, I think. What was the total needed?
10.
10? All right.
Pretty sure I've just been having it in flat 10 because it's easier.
Yeah. 11 again.
Okay, same thing. And it's enough that like it's also affecting Aspen because you're close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was holding on to you. Aspen, what are you trying to do?
So Aspen's not as smart. And she'll see what Kells is doing to get the stuff away, right? But she wants to cast the knockback spell at the shadows with the intent to like knock her away.
Okay, good luck. Give me a fight roll difficulty, we'll say 16. Because you're fighting shadows with something more... not light.
Can I use a major boon?
You can.
Okay. That's 33.
Are we just gonna
Okay.
blast out the door?
Blast a hole in the floor.
Yeah, you
You
cast it
fall
towards the shadows, but it's so powerful that you actually kind of like, it kind of goes through the shadows and hits the ground, but it's so forceful that you go up and out of the shadows' grasp. And when you come back down, you land on, we'll say, Dr. Tetsuya, the Dr. Tetsuya hag, and kind of knock him. It's like, oh. The school resource officer, who is having a hard time figuring out what's going on because it's so filled with smoke, kind of uses a spell to kind of whirlwind the smoke out of the room so he can have a better view of what the heck is going on in here.
And once again, all the oxygen is sucked out.
Right.
It's just meant to affect the smoke. Phineas and Tim, give me another brain or grit roll.
Uh, 9 plus 3 is 12.
Okay, cool. You are able to make your way. You're masterfully able to avoid certain things that you know are like triggers. So stepping on certain plants or fauna, something that you see is obviously like a trapdoor spider nest that you would have fallen into, things like that. And you are able to make it out of the forest unscathed.
You're close.
Where are you going?
Who else is trustworthy other than, right? And the doctor was, but the doctor's probably gone. I think.
Problem is, it's also a Thursday night at this point, so many teachers are not there.
Oh, they're not here. The new counselor, the one that's replacing my counselor. Because this is a player question. Weren't they at one point in the whole like law enforcement dealing with?
They were a counselor for Spinnin'.
Right. So they have connections.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't be here.
I will allow it if you use a major boon.
How many do we have?
If you want them to be here.
I don't want to use. I mean, people are being set on fire and about to be eaten by hags. Oh, we only have one.
You can also just look around and see if you could find anybody else.
Yeah, and I'll obviously ask Tim too because Tim knows things. Look, we need to find someone. And she hesitated when I asked about what was going on with my other friends, so I suspect there's 2 other ones, and they're probably up to no good. She was the only one among that entire sisterhood that had any self-control, and she doesn't have much.
Maybe the head of houses are still around.
Are any of them any good at fighting hags?
I don't think anyone's good at fighting hags.
Except for Professor Ames. That's why I tried to get him loose.
Maybe Professor Victus?
Maybe.
Or... Oh, yeah, that's it.
Well, we're just going to go...
Coach Hardiness.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be Professor Ames, but that's not going to work. So, yeah, we'll try to find... Because Professor Victus is accomplished, just not a he's a new
Professor
teacher.
Victus, the transfiguration teacher.
Yes. Let's go find Professor Victus. And it turns out Professor Victus is the secret blood cultist, but that's fine.
Cool. You guys go off. Looking for Professor Victus. Where are you looking for him?
Where would he be?
Classroom, his office, or the Lou Purcell. It's not quite late enough for bed checks yet, so he might be in his office.
We will swing by the office very, very quickly, and then if not there, then we will go and rouse the Purcell.
Okay.
And then, yeah. And any students we see, we say, go find your prefect, go find your head of house, raise an alarm.
Give me a charm roll.
Can I make Poe make creepy crow face at them? Yeah, 4.
Okay. Let me see Tim. Tim is also really bad. No, he got a 1. Let's see. Just give me a flat D20 roll real quick.
A natural 20.
Okay.
Well, that's good or bad.
You run into one of the people you pass is JJ.
JJ.
Yeah, what's up?
Serious problem.
You guys are all sweaty. What were you doing?
We just came back from the forest where we were put. We need to raise the alarm.
Oh, like the new school alarms they put in?
Yes. We need to have as little conversation and delay as possible. We need to notify our heads of houses and all the adults, and the alarm needs to go on. And we need reinforcements.
Okay. Let me do Okay. He will start testing the classroom doors till he finds one that's open, and then he goes to the sphere and presses the sphere. So the alarm starts going off, telling kids to get into their common rooms.
God. And then we try to find Professor Victus.
Okay. Kels, Gustav, Aspen, you guys hear the alarm start to go off. You see the thorny school resource officer, which... Aspen, give me a brains roll real quick. Because you didn't recognize him at first. And now he might be more difficult to recognize, and you might just see him as this spiny entity in the room. We'll say difficulty 8 brains. You do the same, Gustav.
To use an adversity token to bump that up to a 9.
Okay. You recognize it's the school resource officer, just thorny.
I have no idea who that is, but they're clearly an enemy.
How dare you?
Cool. What are you guys doing? You can now see, and the... Let me see if they would be smart enough to do this, actually. The answer is no. They want their food. Okay. So they're just in a hunger frenzy, wanting to eat their food and very angry about how poorly this is suddenly going. The school resource officer turns his attention to Miss Mesmer. Aspen, you are on top of the other hag, by the way.
Where food belongs.
he begins to fight the Miss Mesmer hag.
Am I still stuck to the shadow?
You are, yes.
I'm not doing anything else until there's no shadow on me.
Actually, she got a 33, so
Oh, okay.
we'll say knocked you loose as well.
All right.
Or landed on the hag that cast it and distracted her.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now I'm by a hag. That was aggressive, Aspen.
I tried my best.
Yeah.
Has the alarm gone off at this point?
Yes.
Presumably. Okay.
The alarm is blaring.
Got it.
And the school resource officer is trying to talk to you over the alarms, just trying to tell you guys to run.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Time to extract ourselves, Aspen.
Sounds good.
Via knockback spells. Let's go!
Yeah!
Knock ourselves away from this hag! Or vice versa. Who knows?
So, hold on. What exactly are you trying to do?
I don't
You're trying
know.
to propel yourselves using the knockback spell on something that's stationary?
Yeah, like, I presume the hag or a wall or something. It'd be convenient if it was just the hag. I assume it doesn't really work like that, though, because it usually pushes the force, so you need the blowback from the force.
Right.
In which case, we should probably just run.
Yeah, Aspen was just gonna run.
Give
Yeah,
me
let's-
flight rolls.
Let's run.
We'll see if he's fast enough to, or she's fast enough to grab you.
Probably. One of us, naughty children.
Maybe.
I got a 8.
You should do something about that, Kels.
No, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, she got a 12, so.
Yeah.
Math.
It's hard. Who decided there'd be so much math in RPGs? I tells ya.
You good there, Aspen?
She's trying to make that number higher than an 8. At least.
What did you flat roll, Aspen?
Oh, boo.
I see.
I see. Okay, well, you do have major boons.
We do have
Sorry,
major-
Discord disappeared from me. I don't know.
Okay, that was
okay,
the other
okay.
part.
Gotcha.
So
We
I
have
can
major
still
boons
hear
if
you. I
wanted
just
to roll.
couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Are you sticking with the 1?
She can't grab us both, right?
Okay, cool. She grabs Aspen's ankle as she tries to go away, which trips you up, Kels. But she has a hold of Aspen
Okay.
and is starting to drag her back, mouth opening
No.
wider than it's supposed to be.
No. Is there a nearby crystal ball to throw? This worked the first time. I'm gonna ruin all of Miss Metzer's stuff.
Sure. You know what? We'll say there is that whole tornado thing to get the smoke out. Sure.
Yeah. No.
If you want to
no.
physically pick up enough crystal ball, you can.
Yes. No. Oh, that wasn't the best of rolls. But it wasn't the worst of rolls, so it's only a 6 fight.
Okay. All right, so you go to pick up the crystal ball and go to throw it. Aspen, what are you doing in this moment? Are you just grasping, trying to slow down, getting pulled back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
So Kels, you go to throw it, but as Aspen's kind of struggling and in the way. So when you throw it, she gets kind of in the way. Luckily, give me a flight roll real quick, Aspen.
Knock Aspen
Get
out.
wrecked, Aspen. This is so you won't feel it, Aspen. I'm sorry.
Go to sleep. It'll all be over.
It's an 11.
Okay, you're able to just like knock it out of the way real quick and just like, gals.
That's what you get for freezing me in the Forbidden Forest. Karma.
For real. What are you guys doing vocally?
Screaming, probably. Still, it's just a constant.
Probably
Okay.
also screaming nonsense. Probably screaming out Sap's name.
Okay.
Because the
I mean, a potato would be a great appetizer. Or a side. So, you guys are screaming. The school resource officer looks at you, sees what's happening, and is like, oh, I need to fix my attention over there. Okay.
Yeah, the screams intensify as the situation gets scarier. And then they detensify when we're in an okay spot.
Right. So the school resource officer is able to basically stun the hag for a moment off of you, Aspen, so that you can scramble and get up. But the other hag is able to grab the school resource officer. And before you even know it, the school resource officer is gone.
Man, he had a really short tenure at the school, but his presence was was greatly appreciated.
I mean, he had a line, which is good.
He did have a line. Yeah, a few lines. He was yelling a lot of things there.
Yeah.
He's going to get his payment for having a line in the show.
Yeah.
Great.
will be missed.
Gustav, what are you doing? You are in a lot of pain right now, by the way, just so you know. Like, it hurts to move because you have 3rd-degree burns all down your back.
I think it would probably hurt even more to not move. As Aspen,
I mean, eventually.
as Aspen is moving away from Dr. Tatsuya, I am going to cast a knockback spell onto him to see if I can open that gap wider somehow.
Wait, sorry, repeat that?
Aspen was tangled up with Dr. Tatsuya.
Yeah.
The school resource officer managed to get her free. Now
Yes.
she is making a break for it.
Yes.
I am going to try and fire a spell past Aspen into Dr. Tetsuya and knock Dr. Tetsuya back.
Okay. So give me a fight roll difficulty 13, because you are still very badly hurt and prone.
I have Spell Slinger, so it's not too bad,
Right.
but I do not succeed now.
Okay. So you're trying to cast, and it just like weakly, you're just not able to muster it right now. You just feel way too bad. It's hard for you to get into that mindset of really knocking someone back. Phineas, you run into actually Professor Victus, who, or at least you see the hawk form of Professor Victus start to go down the hallway as he
Professor
hears
Victus?
the alarms blaring, and he like quickly stops, untransfigures, kind of sees the state of you two. Like, do you know what's going on?
Yes, hags, 3 at least.
Where?
One was Miss Mesmer, one was Dr. Tetsuya, and one was Professor Levi. They are, the one that was Professor Levi is in whatever room, hopefully wasting her time having conversation with Professor Ames. I was able to get myself and Tim out.
Okay, but we don't know where the other two are.
No, but they're probably eating people.
Who raised the alarm? Did you raise
Yes.
the alarm?
Well, I
Okay,
asked
so
JJ
it's
too.
not happening in the classroom that the alarm was.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, go back to your common rooms. I will go, because you described where the classroom was that Professor Levi was. He's like, I'll go to that classroom.
You should probably notify all the other adults first so that you don't go in there and then get your mind wiped.
Yes. He will go into the nearest classroom to go over the orb system and basically announce what's going on to anyone that's in a classroom or an office. Kells, Aspen, Gustav, what are you doing? You running?
We're trying to run.
See, the other hag is struggling because she just ate a cactified person.
The struggle's real. You eat the whole thing and you're like, oh no, I'm swallowing and there's spines everywhere. Ugh.
Oh man, heartburn.
Serves them right. Yeah, no, we running, I think. I'll try to
give me
try
fight
to
rolls.
get Gustav on the way out. Help him out, I assume. Of course,
If
he's
you are
gonna
just
roll
running
higher
for
than me.
yourself, difficulty 10. If you are trying to help Gustav, it'll be difficulty 13.
I think I feel. Remember that time we had that conversation about how I left all my friends behind because of the blood mage? I'm kind of going for Gustav here. Bad choice though.
We'll make it a 12 because you're extra motivated to help Gustav this time.
I had extra
with the guilty words of Tim in your head.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have things.
Echoing. We do. I'm going to use the thing.
Gustav can also help. And usually it's a snap decision, but since this is actually happening with him involved, I'll allow that too. Actually, Gustav, if you roll a 10, we'll give her like a +3 to her roll. So flight difficulty 10.
I can suddenly use adversity tokens.
Okay, if you just want to flat use adversity tokens to help her on her roll, you can do that too.
All right. Well, I rolled, let's see, 6, and then I can use adversity tokens to go 7, 8, 9.
We have minor boons.
I know I've given you guys plenty of failure. You should be stacked.
I've used quite a few.
So I will bump that up with adversity tokens to help Kells help me. And then we're out of there.
Cool.
Aspen is terrible at flight, so I'm using all the adversity tokens, which are 5, to get that to an 11. So
you're good. Yours is a 10.
Over
so,
the 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you guys take off. Where are you going?
Well, down. There's not many other places, right?
Via the banister.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Gustav is not going to be able to take the banister.
Yeah. Just put his burning body on the banister? I'm sure this will be fine.
Oh, look, there's my face.
It's all the way down. So we are doing our best heading down the stairs.
Are you going down the stairs or are you going down the banister?
I don't think he's going to make it. I mean,
probably not, but I'll let you try.
I don't think he's going to make it. Not the two of us. We can try. We can tell Aspen to take the banister because that'd be hilarious.
Aspen would take the banister.
Yeah, Aspen, go get help.
Okay.
And we'll move behind us here. Quickly then.
Cool. Phineas, what are you doing with Tim?
Is there an obvious plume of smoke coming from somewhere?
You're on the
or sounds of screaming?
Maybe. You're on the Lupersal side, so you're not really as close. Maybe. Which direction are you running? So you're not going back to your common rooms?
Well, that was a decision. So, wait, which house is Tim in?
Tim is in Cephalon.
Oh, that's right. How close? Like, how far away are we from Cephalon?
You went towards Lupercal. So Lupercal or Cephalon is all the way on the top floor.
Okay.
It's like a couple floors up.
Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll escort Tim because I'm concerned because I don't know where the other two are. So, but as we go up, I'm like, as we like wind our way around the tower or whatever, I'm looking out the windows to see if there's any like screaming people, clouds of smoke, my friends running around screaming, my friends running around screaming on fire.
Right.
He's not on fire anymore.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, the astrology tower is kind of above Cephalon because it used to be a Cephalon taught class. Now it just happens to have a Calatog teacher. And same with divination. So they are somewhat in the area. So you do. Sure, we'll say you hear the screams and kind of the area is getting smokier as you go towards that area. Like it's not an obvious thing of smoke, but you're like, wow, it's kind of hazy.
All right. How close are we to Cephalon?
You would pass it going that way.
Then yes. I will take Tim to where he needs to go.
He's like, but can't wait. I'm not going in there. What?
You
We
have
have to stay
to.
together. What do you mean we have to?
Because they want you.
When they notify me here?
But they're going to have, it's harder if it's just multiple people. And you've got adults that can protect you. Look, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just saying it's probably safer for you to be in the safe place than to be running around with 3 hags looking for you.
I mean, I feel like you're safer than the adults, no offense, when it comes to hag problems.
I mean, I am, but the people around me maybe not so much.
Yeah, but they, like, kind of listen to you, right? You said you cut a deal with Professor Ames and
Yeah. That worked for a second to get us out of there. I think whatever's going on now is maybe... I mean, we'll see, won't we?
You see Calder heading towards the Cephalon room from the library where he was left.
Good. Calder.
What's happening?
Granny. And friends. Go into the room. Be safe. Tell all adults. Tim, I need you to tell the adults. 3 hags. Be prepared. They can look like anyone.
If I stay with you, I know it's not you. And Calder's also like, I want to help. Give me a charm roll, Phineas.
Oh, God. I can't fly them all. Okay, well.
I can contest them. They all suck at charm, so.
Yeah, I got a 6.
Okay. All right, well, you're able to convince Calder because Calder is like, okay, well.
I can't fly with both of us, Tim. I mean, I can, but it's very hard.
Fine.
No, I do want your help. I'm just worried. Do you know anything that can help with hags?
No.
Are you sure?
Well, unless I touched one and then was able to see how to kill them.
It's your choice. I just want you to be safe.
I feel like I'm not very safe anywhere.
Are you good with a broom?
No, not really.
I will try.
Fine.
Okay.
I'll go with Calder.
All right. Keep him safe. Can I trust you to keep him safe? And yourself.
I will certainly try.
All right. Cool.
They go into the Cephalon common room.
Open window. Over towards. I'll probably
You're
do
able
some.
to see more smoke coming from
Yeah.
the classroom.
Yeah.
From the outside.
Yeah. I'll make a couple of passes.
Kells, Gustav, Aspen, you see something very scary coming down the stairs towards you. Like, the limbs aren't quite right, the way they're, like, moving down the stairs to move down the stairs faster. But they're basically kind of, like, rolling down the stairs. Very big open mouth, very sharp teeth coming for you. And closing the distance.
Hate this for us.
Yeah. You
Are there
might be
any
able to beat him out if you were to drop Gustav, but with Gustav, they're definitely going to catch up to you.
Can I attempt the knockback spell?
You can. Are you doing it while running, or are you stopping to cast it?
I'd
And also,
probably
do you have a backup character?
stopping to.
Well, you went down the banister,
Yeah.
didn't you? So you're ahead of them.
Okay.
It's Kels and Gustav that's in trouble right now. If you
Are
were-
there any
if you were to-
classrooms nearby?
Once you get to the next landing.
Any what nearby?
Classrooms, I said.
Oh yeah.
Kels, you go on to the classroom and activate the alarm system.
Alarm system's already going off.
It's already on.
But they don't know we're here.
That's true. If you activate the alarm system in the classroom, it'll basically be a beacon of, hey, this is where the problem is happening.
I'll yell at Aspen to do that. Like, Aspen, alarm, classroom. And then, I guess, try to put up a shield while we're running? I don't know. I'm not very good at that, but I don't really think I have any other good ideas other than...
You can try it. You are on a staircase, though, so it is a little bit
Yeah, everything's tricky.
tricky, yeah. Give me a brains roll. Is it brains? No, it's grit.
Grit. It's grit.
Okay, grit roll, difficulty 12.
Yeah. Get ready, Gustav. Encourage me greatly.
Kels, if anybody can succeed, it's you.
I need I got a 7. So I need 5 more encouragement, Gustav.
Or at least not fail by 5.
Kels,
I'm letting you know
You
now,
are-
if you guys fail by 5, you're going in the stomach of the hag.
Wait, hold on. How many minor wounds do we have?
A ton.
Well, I could just use all of them.
Yeah. I
All
guess
right, that's
good
a
idea.
12.
There you go.
Okay. So you barely succeed, but you succeed. You cast the barrier spell, and the hag kind of tries to chomp into it, but it's too big. But the problem is you're basically in a circular thing, and the force of the hag kind of pushes you guys backwards into this barrier ball, and you start kind of rolling down
Oh boy.
the stairs as the hag is chasing you until it gets to the next landing and your barrier fades.
Ah!
Gustav, that did not feel good.
ow.
We gotta put pillows inside next time.
Phineas, I assume you've gotten to the classroom where the smoke was clearing out of.
Yeah. And is there, or at least some of me have, is there enough of a trail of gobbets of flesh from the consumed school resources teacher or clattering down the stairs to direct my attention?
You actually see the school resource officer is in the classroom.
Mm-hmm. But I don't see my friends.
No.
Yeah, I'm not talking to any adults. I'm going to be very suspicious of my friends.
The school resource officer, because do you fly into the classroom, like flock into the classroom?
I'm still flying because this may not be my ultimate destination, so I'll swirl.
Oh, okay. So you're trying to go past him, or are you stopping to be like, "Hey, which way did they go?"
So I'm
What
coming in the
happened?
window of that classroom.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll do one loop around the inside of the room. Determine. Well, this is chaos. It smells like burnt Gustav, but I don't see any of my friends. So no, I'm looking for them.
Okay. You see a school resource officer who draws their wand because they just see a bunch of crows while there's this hag threat going on, supposedly. And it's like, stop!
Ka.
Okay, they will cast. Give me a flight roll.
Cool. Look at my thing. Okay. And because it's a spell, well, that's 13, 14, 15, 16.
Cool.
Unless I can add my magic type because
Very-
it's all a spell. In which case it would be more.
Yeah, you can add your magic die because it's magic,
20.
which is good because that would have been close. All right. So they basically give you a stop, see that you're not stopping and you're flying, and they kind of cast something with the wand, but it seems like they're not the most experienced with using the wand, weirdly enough. And you're able to just power through the spell and keep going.
Yes. And this is where the top, I guess I'm going down.
Yeah, sure, yeah. So you go down and you can definitely hear the screaming now. Kels, Gustav, you are like on the landing, seeing this hag still coming towards you, very scarily, down the stairwell, right at you.
Knockback spell. Please stop coming towards us.
Give me. It's gonna be tough because you're aiming up, like you have the low ground. So we'll say fight roll difficulty 12.
Okay.
Because you might just knock them up and have them fall onto you.
Yes, that would be aggressively bad, I think. Gustav, encourage me by like 4 or more.
Kells! No, wait. Don't do it from there. Sidestep so that you can knock them over the railings and into the void.
I think this is a snap decision.
Oh yeah, it would be. I'm on my own. And by on my own, I mean looking at our major boons. I'll just use that there. Roll again. Ooh, yeah, major boon helping me out. So that is a... What is this? I'm good at this. 12, 15.
Okay. So you were able to knock back enough to where they kind of lose their balance and start kind of like tripping over their awkward limbs. Kind of like skid down the stairs a bit. Enough time for you see... Wait, Aspen, what are you doing right now? Because you were...
Aspen was told to go to the nearest classroom.
You're probably on this landing somewhere in the classrooms hitting a... Did you hit one of them?
Yeah.
Miss Fierce? Okay. So, Kels, you were able to buy enough time that you see a hawk kind of go in front of you, and then it's Professor Victus who is able to cast a sort of transfiguration spell on the stairs to where it kind of turns into something that wraps over the hag.
Hag in a blanket.
Yes.
Too many limbs.
And he looks at you and is like, keep running.
All right. I help.
Because he does not know how long, he's never fought a hag before, so
Right.
he doesn't know how long he's going to be able to hold it off.
They ate the school resource officer, I say, as we run. They ate him.
Let's see, where are you guys? You guys are okay. Both of you, Cephalon common room. It doesn't matter that you're not part of Cephalon, just get to the nearest common room, and that's the closest one.
And I presume Aspen will...
She probably came out, probably out of the classroom now. Probably see them.
All right. We move quickly. We run as fast as Gustav can to the common room.
Phineas, you probably make it as they're going down the stairs. You come up to see kind of Professor Victus. It's hard to see because you're behind where the hag is being held by the stairs.
Yeah.
But him, like, holding his wand, struggling to hold it.
All right. I will part around my friends, solidify, hand Kel's the healing potion. Because, I mean, obviously, Gustav is, medium rare. And then I want to try something clever. So,
Go for it.
my wand contains Granny's hair and her voice.
Yes.
Now, I know I can't possibly, with my charm, I can't create an illusion that Granny's there. But what I would like to do to distract and potentially dissuade the hag is just with a little bit of a flick, just add like an overtone of like when I'm speaking, it's also a little bit of Granny's, like I'm effectively like amplifying through the wand, but like trying to add the overtone of Granny's voice, which she would recognize. And then I'm not going to cast a spell at her. I'm just going to look at her and say, she said you would ruin everything. I told her you couldn't be trusted. And look at what you've done. Now the entire school is on alert.
Give me a... Let's you use a brains roll, because it's clever. And I'll just make it difficulty 10. And you can use your magic die.
Okay, cool. For the dice. That is... This is brains. I don't add... Oh, no, magic was 1. Because of 1, that's exactly 10. I will spend a adversity token to make it 11.
Okay, good. Because it's a little... I mean, you did speak to Professor Victus before this, so he knows you guys were the ones setting off the alarms that there was a problem in the school. You're not obviously, like, even though you're trying to appeal to them, you're not on the hag side. Yeah,
and I'm moving near her, but also kind of away from him to just kind of like literally keep her eyes on me.
Yeah. You see it stop struggling for a second and then look at you. And she kind of, you see her like, oh no, I actually did. We messed up. The school resource officer comes down the stairs. And what's going on? What's happening?
Oh, look, someone who's even less influential. What an excellent choice you've made.
Professor Victus, who knows from Kels that that's not the actual school resource officer, but doesn't know you don't know. It's like... Well,
I heard Kel say it too, I'm saying. Because Kel literally just said, they ate the guy as she was running by.
Oh, okay. Sure. The school resource officer will look at you, realize that you know it's one of the hag sisters, and decides to kind of like drop the illusion to help break the other hag out of what Professor Victus is holding the other hag with. So uses some sort of magic that kind of gets rid of the transfiguration. That actually is magic they're pretty good at. So is able to break free of that transfiguration to where it returns to the stairs.
Well, she's probably looking for you now. Shall I take you to her? So you can explain.
Give me a charm roll, difficulty 6.
Okay. It did not explode. However, I will spend all 3 of my remaining adversity tokens to make it a 7.
Okay. And they kind of look at each other. And then they look at Professor Victus, who's kind of he's kind of like letting you take lead on it because he's smart enough to kind of know what's happening and doesn't want to escalate things again. Because he can hold one hag for a while, but probably not 2. But they kind of look at him like, oh, but he's seen some stuff. We can surely they can eat him, right? Especially the one that didn't get to eat. And I won't make you spend an intuitive whatever, but you can see like that's exactly what that hag is thinking as it starts to look at Professor Victus.
I will ask Poe to give me a little bit of a, and we'll just, smiling, come along then. I'm sure she'll be really anxious to hear from you. And then with the shadow, little red eyes.
Okay, sure. They'll look at Professor Victus, but the other one will kind of nudge the other one like, we need to go now. And follow you. Kels, Aspen, Gustav, what are you guys doing?
We are headed to the common. Once I feel like we're a good enough distance away, I'll give Gustav the healing potion.
Okay.
Because he'll probably move faster.
Yes.
I shall peel away my clothing from my melted skin and smear it upon my flesh.
I just kind of thought you drank it.
Yeah.
I thought you just drank it, actually.
That would be hilarious, though, if he misused the potion and just poured it on instead of tea.
Well, Kels is there. It's like, no, in the mouth.
No, you just drink it. You just drink it.
The problem is, you do know if he takes the healing potion, it will heal the wounds on his back, but he will have, like, burn scars back there, as opposed to if you used, like, an actual balm for burns. But once it's healed, it's healed.
Get some cool new scars to show off. I don't know. I think the doctor's a little indisposed right now.
Right.
Yeah, it's up to Gustav whether or not he actually takes it.
Those hags could come back at any moment, and if we have to run, we're not going to get any faster like this. I'm going to drink it.
Also, I'm sure that Ophelia will really like those cool battle scars.
So, Gustav, you take the potion and you immediately feel better. And you can feel it, the burn, the sting starts to go away. And you feel instantly better.
I can run like this. What does it look like?
Doesn't look great. It is like, hamburger meat back there, it's the classical burn scars. Luckily any clothing that was kind of like attached or burnt off is basically fallen off. Whatever. He does look weird with like part of a shirt on, though.
We've all been there before.
Yeah, you're on your way to Giga Chad. Let's not forget.
The girls will go wild for you.
Yeah. Because you can't just be the perfect male specimen. You have to have some sort of flaw. Maybe you can get...
It's an interesting backstory.
Yeah, you can get some sort of like
time.
tribal tattoo on it to make it look cool.
You can tell them you won the battle.
I'm really puffed up by this, and I lead the way into Teflon.
Yeah. Okay, except, like, it's my house. Any rate, we all head in. And shut the door.
Tim and Calder see you guys come in and immediately go over to you, like, what happened? Are you guys okay? Where's Phineas?
I guess he stayed behind. There were 2 hags, and then one of them ate the school resource officer, and Professor Victus was there, and that's the last we saw. Because Gustav was on fire, and one of them was Miss Mesmer, and one of them was Dr. Tetsuya. So that's not good.
Well, the other one's Professor Levi.
Oh. Can't he get in here?
Yes.
Cool. Let's go.
Well, we told them
All right.
what we know.
Let's tell whoever who's in charge.
Let me see. You know what? We'll say it's Professor Megamo. Because he had bed checks tonight.
Okay. Look around for him quick. And
yeah, he's there. I mean, as soon as you guys came in, too, he would have started going towards you to make sure you were good.
So he explained the sitch, as it were.
And he will go to the sphere and the orb and kind of make an update. So that the other heads of, or the other houses and safe rooms know what's going on. Phineas.
I was hoping they would just run away. And we have to go outside to get to where she is, right? Or at least where?
No.
No. Okay.
You guys aren't that far from the library.
Okay.
Because you guys ran from the library. Tim pushed you guys into an open classroom. So you guys are near Cephalon. Because the library is near Cephalon.
Yes. But they don't know where she is.
No. They're assuming she sent you
Yes.
to fetch them.
So I am going to lead them outside to a place where I assume that any of the teachers who are keeping their eyes out for any weirdness is going to see us.
Probably.
It's my hope is that some sort of reinforcement will appear.
So you're hoping the teachers will leave.
I have zero interest in taking them to her and putting them in a room together. I have my initial intent was to convince them that maybe they ought to make themselves scarce because she might be angry that they screwed things up. But that failing, I would like to try to create a situation where opposition appears and drives them off.
Well, you do know the issue is, well, one, the teachers that are here are usually pretty much in the common rooms because they're protecting those individual common
we don't
rooms.
have security.
The school resource officer was eaten.
Yeah.
He is the security. And then the other teachers that would normally respond to this sort of thing would be like Professor Levi and Professor Ames. Or the doctor.
Well, I would do all that.
You know, it's pretty slim chances that a teacher is going to look out the window, see you leading two hags, and be like, oh, let me go out there and fight them.
Yeah, of course.
Because even if a teacher does see it, most teachers aren't, like, they're not paid enough to go fight hags.
The whole school is the worst.
You wanted to save it.
That's what the hags are saying, man.
Yeah, right. So I guess it's take them to where Granny is and let her deal
You
with
can
them.
absolutely go outside, and I'll probably just make you do a flat D20 roll.
Yeah. Or I could take them in the middle of somewhere and then just fly off. But then they would just go wreak havoc. And they could use magic to find out where she is, because that's a thing
Do you
that can
ask
happen.
them anything while you're leading them somewhere?
Just out of curiosity, what did she promise you?
What do you mean? We part of the coven. We're protecting the coven.
Ah, so just loyalty. Well, that's very admirable.
Well,
I thought it was-
we were told we could eat the
Of
ones we
course.
needed to get rid of.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess it's not surprising that she would want to share. Anyway, come along.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
No, let's just right this way. I'm sure she'll be very happy to see you.
Did she say anything?
About what?
About us, or what was going on? How much does she know?
Oh, she just told me a few important things. So not much about you.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, I'm sure she's very grateful for how useful you've been.
It's not our fault.
Oh, being overpowered and outsmarted by first-year students. Smells like one of you was set on fire.
We're not as powerful in those stupid skin bag forms.
Yes, that's true. Clearly not the equal of 2, 3, 13-year-old children, mortals. Well, if we know anything about her, is that she's very understanding.
Right. Where is she now?
Oh, just come along this way.
Which way?
This way.
Actually, I think we need to give me a charm roll really quick, Phineas.
My die life's a 4. So 8.
Okay. Actually, we should probably meet somewhere else. Since
Oh, right,
everything's-
because all of the authorities in the mortal world are probably going to be here any moment because of the fire and the obvious fighting and the people witnessing consumption and all that stuff. You're right, it's probably a good idea not to just dilly-dally around here any longer. So glad to have you on board.
They look at each other and transfigure and go off towards the forest.
All right.
The opposite direction you pointed.
Yes. And I think I will have to go and find out what's going on with Professor Ames. And if I walk in and it's only Professor Ames, it's like, oh God. Because he's been et. Well, she can't eat him, though. I think she can't eat him. Because there's something else going on. Anyway, so I will have to go in there. Because I can't leave it to his own. I can't just, yeah.
Well, as you go in, you see down the hallway Professor Levi walking, and just shadows are following. You can tell she is pissed.
Yeah.
And you hear her voice kind of change a bit, which when you know she's really angry. It's like, Phineas!
Mm-hmm.
Was this you?
No, it was your sisters. They apparently set fire to a room. One of them was fireballed by a first-year student, I'm sure.
Where are they?
Oh, I told them that you would probably want to talk to them and thank them for all their wonderful help, and they flew off into the forest.
She keeps marching along the hallway. Let's go.
Did you have a good conversation with Professor Ames?
No, it was interrupted.
I know, right? You had things handled. And here they go, ruining everything.
She kind of like, without even just walking past you, you feel the shadows just start to push you alongside her.
Well, perhaps our bargain could be that if you can't trust them, maybe you could trust me.
She kind of stops in her tracks, looks at you. Give me a charm roll.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm going to major boon.
We'll make it a difficulty 6. You've laid the groundwork.
Okay. I should make it. That is 8. No, 7. Or 2, 6, 7.
She looks at Poe, who is kind of puffing his chest a bit. Stop, Poe. You know you can't do anything. Looks at you, Phineas. Fine. You will protect the vessel.
Yes.
Make sure no harm comes to him.
Of course. I was already doing that.
I'll be back when things change.
All right. Shall I send Professor Ames your regards?
She does not answer. And just keeps walking until you just see all the shadows kind of catch up to her, and she basically turns into this shadowy form that zooms into the Forbidden Forest.
And then Poe and I look at each other. And then run and try to find Professor Ames. Professor Ames. Are you alive?
Kells, Gustav, Aspen. What are you guys doing? You guys just chilling in the common room? You good? Nothing crazy?
Aspen is probably giving treats out to the familiars of the Cephalon house. Sorry, I'm here.
Oh, wait, who's in here?
This is when the other 4 hags appear.
How many Banes do I have?
How dare you?
So, all right, Phineas, you go into the classroom where Professor Ames was. You see him kind of on the ground, coughing, holding his throat. He hears you come in, holds up a hand, kind of waves you off like I'm fine. Dusts himself off, gets up. Mr. Sparkley.
Thank you. Everyone's in Sevalon. Professor Victus sent them.
Where did Levi go?
Oh, Levi wasn't here.
He stormed out of here.
That was Granny. It was a hag.
I know. I mean, trying to keep...
off to the Forbidden Forest to chase after the other sisters.
So they're all in the Forbidden Forest now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Apparently the other sisters made a bit of a mess of things. Or at least that's at least that's what Granny believes. And they, for somehow, got the idea that maybe she wouldn't be so happy to see them after having ruined all her best laid plans. So they kind of ran off into the forest, and I just happened to run into her and say, oh, yeah, they're off in the forest. So she thought it was a good idea to go chase them.
Those were the only ones, right?
Well, probably. I mean, they're not the only ones. But I think if there were 4 more, we would know about it. And certainly if there were 9 more, we would definitely know about it. She said to tell you she'll be back when things change, which I don't know what that means. But I am to guard the vessel.
Meaning Calder.
Yes. And protect him. And it's like, I was doing that anyway. So I don't know what all this... This seems like a long way to go around to wind up doing the exact same thing.
All right.
Oh, the school resource officer was eaten. Sorry.
You see him actually kind of sad about that. It's like, okay.
You might need more than one in future.
I don't know what to do about Levi at this point.
I know. But see, I don't think she ate him. He's still alive.
From what I gathered, it seemed more like
Yeah.
they switched places.
Yeah. I'm not sure how it all works, but that was an act of desperation. And if he is in her body, there could be some significant advantages to that. Because it means she doesn't have all of her power.
True.
And she has a lot,
I don't know if Levi would feel the same way of not being able to be in his own body.
Well, it's better than being eaten.
Depending how you look at it, I suppose.
We should go to we're walking to Cephalon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they might come back.
Okay. You stay here. I'm gonna go meet the authorities. Figure some stuff out. They're gonna want statements. They're gonna want statements from all of you.
Yes, of course.
For sure. And I will figure out how they want to treat the Professor Levi situation, I guess.
I mean, they could let him out of prison.
If they believe us, which they should.
Yeah.
But also, given your statement that you just said, which if you tell them that, they may be inclined to keep the hag body where it is.
Yeah. I'll leave that to your judgment.
my guess is do we know where the other teachers are? Did they say?
I mean, maybe they ate them. Or maybe not. I don't think the plan was to be here forever, so it's possible that they're still around.
Question is where or in what form they might be right now.
I know. We should urge the students to be very cautious when walking around in the rushes.
Okay. He's going to leave you guys in there, go meet authorities so that they know what they're looking for and how to really respond to the situation and get Spinnet involved as well. So what do you guys do? You're basically locked down to the Cephalon common room, all of you guys.
Okay, and we're all in the same room finally. Right? Okay.
You can be, yeah. You guys can go into someone's room as well.
Okay, cool. Like Kels's room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang out in my room.
We'll go
Kels,
crash Kels's
Calder,
room.
Tim. Yeah, Tim is with you guys at this point. He's not going off on his own. He's like in it.
Clearly, the first thing to do is investigate all of Kels's stuff.
Yeah.
Also ask them
no,
to
it's
make friends with the
organized.
potato.
Yes. Yes, and Sap finds you. Well, we looked for that cat person, teacher, maybe transformed, whatever. We couldn't find it.
Looked is a strong word.
Well, call
Tim
for it.
says.
Phineas, what happened?
Well, I told Granny that the best way to deal with things was to try to get Professor Ames on her side, knowing that that was probably unlikely, but he seems smart enough that he might be able to fool her, at least delay her. Then Tim and I were told to go play, so we were shunted into the Forbidden Forest, where we looked for the cat. Then we came back, and we set the alarm, and then I saw smoke pouring out of the top of the tower, and flew over, and heard what you were saying about people being eaten, and found the other hag, and then told them that they should come with me, and they did. And then I suggested that maybe Granny wouldn't be happy with them, and they thought it was a good idea to go to the forest, and so they did. And then I ran into her, and she's like, where are they? She's like, did you do this? It's like, no, they attacked a bunch of people, and one of them got set on fire, or something like that. And then she didn't seem to be happy with them, and thought she might go have a talk with them out in the forest. The end.
Are they coming back?
I don't know if those two are, but Granny said she'll be back when things change.
Oh, what does that mean?
I have no idea.
All right.
But for right now, she told me that I have to protect Calder. Which is like,
Okay.
weren't we doing that already?
Kind of were.
Yeah. It's like, you could have just sent a note. Make sure you're protecting Calder. It's like, of course I am.
Anyway, the Ms. Mesmer hag tried to eat me, and I threw a crystal ball at her.
Good. Serves her right.
But then Dr. Tetsuya hag made me go back up, and then that's when we got into trouble, and Gustav set off the fireball, and we almost died, and the security officer definitely was eaten. Didn't really
I
see
think
it.
I flew.
Yeah, I don't know if a knockback spell is the best way to get out of shadows, but it definitely worked.
Mm-hmm. And Gustav, you were still on fire.
The school resource officer?
Well, he was there, and then he wasn't, and their mouths get really big, so I kind of assumed that it was eating.
Yeah.
Because she was going to eat me.
And then she was in the school resource officer's form when I saw her.
And then the hag pushed us down the stairs.
Yes. But the good news is you apparently acquitted yourselves well. You didn't.
We
Yeah,
also
how do you
pressed the
guys keep
button.
taking on these crazy entities and surviving?
I think it's a lot of luck. We really owe a lot to the school resource officer who stopped the fire and opened the door and distracted a hag for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Though I don't remember his name because he was here for like a week.
Yeah.
And you said that the hag was talking to Professor Ames.
Yes.
Is he okay?
Yeah. Oh, he's fine.
He's not like
No.
crying or anything.
No.
I should talk to him.
Well, right now we're in lockdown. But he'll come back to get us because we're going to need to give statements.
Ooh, yeah, probably.
And in this case, I think we can do nothing but tell the absolute truth and be fine.
That's good. Did they say where the other professors were?
Well, he asked about that, and I wondered if maybe they'd been eaten, but not necessarily. Depends on if there was anything useful they could have gotten from them. I don't think Granny can eat anyone at the moment. So it's really the other two. So maybe they're gone. Maybe they're not. If they're here, they're probably transformed. And Professor Ames knows this. And will hopefully engage the authorities, the Spinet, in helping to find them. That was Officer Espinoza, by the way. Lovely fellow.
Yeah. He was meant to last longer, but that's okay.
He has a brother.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys will they'll start getting the all clear. They've cleared the school as best they can. The Spinet team moves in, make sure everything's secure, start putting up security measures and everything. Some even go into the Forbidden Forest to pursue. The investigators, though, will pull you guys all one by one to get your statements. And obviously, it's a little bit disjointed because you don't remember everything. But yeah. So you guys all give honest accounts of what happened.
I think probably when we're in the room, we probably also have a conversation about that explains all the memory stuff, and Dr. Tetsuya was probably we probably put 2 and 2 together.
I mean, Phineas, at least you knew because you had talked it over with Ames already about okay, we think these people are compromised as far as Dr. Tetsuya, Miss Mesmer, and that it was really weird that her vision went missing the same time that all this memory stuff started happening, and then you had visions, and then people were feeding you potions to not have them and all that. So, but do you tell them, are you completely honest, Phineas, with what they said? Like what Granny was after?
Yes, but in the way that Phineas interprets it. So he's not trying to lie. But that she saw a number of students here as being valuable resources and wanted to take them to do things that are probably not what other people would think of as great. And I didn't like that idea.
So do you mention Calder by name at all? I mean, the problem is you also already told the other people in the group as well that
I think I will. I will, but in the context of it was multiple students, right?
Okay.
Like it was like the Oracle's obviously Calder because of his general sort of importance to who knows what, right? So, and there may have been others because she was not going to share her entire plan with me. And it was likely to be a complex plan. So yeah, I'm not saying, she was all focused on him. Because I don't think that, I don't think that he thinks that it was as simple as that.
Cool. Anybody else do anything?
I might even say she was very interested in taking people away from school. So if we want to make sure that her plans don't come to fruition, we probably shouldn't take them away from school.
You guys all give fairly honest accounts. Anyone you want to rat out, Aspen?
Aspen didn't do
No.
anything wrong this time.
Still has a chance.
No, that's been okay. She may say that she was possibly concussed after landing on the Dr. Tetsuya hag and asked if there was like a new doctor or a spinnet doctor that would be available that people know that is not a hag.
Yeah, I mean, this Dr. Mendes would be taking over for Dr. Tetsuya in the meantime because she teaches those classes, medicine and healing and stuff. So she's also a doctor, and she can do that job in a pinch. Let's see. Should probably also give Gustav a bomb that'll help at least. Unfortunately, since it was magical fire, it's a lot harder to heal magical wounds, which is why you'll still see wizards with scars on occasion if they were magically done. Since you did use a healing potion, it healed, so it's harder to reverse now. But it can at least help a bit. Basically, like in the human world, just using scar cream, which isn't going to make it go away, but it might make it a little less bad.
Who knows? Maybe by the time I'm grown up, treatments will have advanced.
Yeah. Anybody else want to do anything while all these investigations and things are happening?
I will check in on Tim to make sure he's okay. Now that things have calmed down a bit and we're not in the midst of crisis.
Yeah, and you guys will have off tomorrow because they're just gonna cancel that school day and be like, nope, we're gonna focus on counseling and what's happening and just shut down the school for the day so the investigators can do their thing and everything and make sure it's safe. Cool. So Phineas, you check in on Tim. What do you guys go to the library or?
Yeah, sure. And it's just literally a sorry that all that happened.
Can I test something real quick?
Sure.
And he just kind of like takes off the glove and pokes you. So weird. And then let's see, is anybody else in the library right now?
I mean, Kels
Okay.
lives there.
Yeah, of course I'm there, but probably not there.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's a day off, a full day in the library.
A full day in the library is exactly what I need.
And he'll probably drag you with him, Phineas, and be like, I want to test something.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll go to Kells and he kind of thinks for a second. And is like, hey, so I heard you save Gustav. Good job. And he'll like just hold out his bare knuckles for you to hit.
Yeah, thanks. And the most awkward fist bump happens.
Phineas,
Yes.
you and Tim both get a vision
Oh.
of Kells.
Oh boy, how did I die most recently?
Being slowly dissolved in a vat of acid.
Let's see.
being crushed under a pile of books.
Common library mishap.
You know what? Sure. We'll say you were trying to use a spell to like grab a book off the shelf that was high to reach and miscast it, and just the entire bookshelf fell on you.
The lamest way
Impressed
to
you.
die.
But it's the Kelsist way to die.
So what you guys see, and this is from that POV of like looking up, seeing a book, kind of aiming the wand, casting it, and then just a mountain of books falling onto you, and then you're
Kels, you really need to be more careful.
What?
Tim kind of smacks you.
But are we supposed to tell her?
No,
But isn't that the way to prevent it?
it almost never happens.
Oh, and- Okay.
Never happened.
And he like pushes Phineas out of the room.
Okay.
I forget if the rest of us were in on the revelation or if we forgot that Tim is the last Oracle.
Only Phineas knew at
Yeah.
the time
Yeah, okay.
because he had told Professor Ames to go get him. Then you guys saw Professor Ames chasing Tim, which was probably a little strange.
Yeah.
But they probably would have just been like, "Oh, it's because he's the ghost kid."
Yeah. Okay, carry on.
And Gustav knows something's up, but I don't think we revealed the identity of the third oracle.
No.
Yeah, I think we all figured that out on the day where we all forgot
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah, but then you forgot
Yeah.
that there is a third oracle.
Yeah. It's all right. You carry on with and Gels is like, what are they anyway?
Well, this has to be so horribly frustrating if you know, like being tempted to tell them.
Yeah, that's why I wear the gloves.
Mm.
It's also why I don't interact with people, because the more I interact with them, the more likely I am to have a dream about it, even without touching them.
But it doesn't usually happen.
Yeah, but it's still not a fun sight to see. Like, I'd rather just have a normal dream than
Oh, yeah.
seeing myself die over and over and over again.
It's true. Yeah, but still, can't let that hold you back. My dreams are horrifying.
Yeah. Anyway, I would rather not.
Well, you can't be by yourself all the time.
Not with you guys around, apparently.
I know, right? Well, all right. Glad you're safe. And you'll play more piano for us, because I still have to teach Calder to dance more.
Sure.
Okay, good.
Kels, Gustav, Aspen. Kels, you're probably really like, what the heck just happened? I don't understand.
Yeah.
What does he mean that doesn't always happen? I don't always get fist bumps? What?
You know, he got fit buns. He doesn't always take off his gloves. I've never really seen him take off his gloves before. Has he
It is
ever
weird.
fist bumped anybody before? I'm going to write this in my notes that I'm now taking on the daily and then copying over at night and then storing one copy in a secret place.
You go and you open it up, and there's just a huge stack of notes for the past 3 years. Granny came back.
Aspen, what are you doing?
Probably trying to help out or just like sleep.
You guys definitely are all going to go to counseling, by the way.
Yeah.
Some of you saw a teacher literally get eaten, so
Yeah.
and almost got eaten yourselves. So, Gustav, what are you doing?
Miss Greco's gonna love it.
I want to see Professor Ames.
Okay.
Professor Ames,
Gustav, how's your back healing?
it's tight, and And it will be tight forever, I think. I've been told that the scar's just not going to go away. But I'm still alive, and not everybody can say that. When Phineas told me that you had spent a long time talking to the hag, how did you survive?
Following, mostly. I don't think there was anything I could really say that would have convinced her that her course of action wasn't the one that she was going to take. I think her mind had already been set. She was just humoring other possibilities in the moment.
Up in the tower, I cast a fireball on one of the hags, and she just peeled it off of us, scooped the flames up. Is there anything that hags are? Can they do that to any magic?
It's tough because I think there's different types of hags. They vary in power, so especially when, I mean, you were facing two hags and they only get stronger together. So we don't fully understand all of the magic hags are capable of because we typically try to avoid them. More of a spin it area, but they do like their shadow magic, so fire spells are not a bad idea, or light in general. And typically most magic that works on anything else will work, it's just a matter of how effective it is and how powerful you are.
Phineas says that she's going to come back, though.
I am definitely more worried about Phineas's grandmother than the other hags. I mean, no offense to you all, but you all were able to handle the sisters. Or not handle them, but, delay them enough. And
Is Phineas going to grow up to be like that one day?
I don't think so. He's past his 13th birthday. It's also male. I think he's a bit of an anomaly. We don't even know if he's actually a hag.
He definitely likes shadows.
It's true, there could be part hag. I really don't know. I know Professor Levi was looking into it. That's why one of the reasons he went through all the hoops to go talk to her.
I hope Professor Levi is all right.
Me too. I think it's going to take a while to resolve that one. He wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. I think he used some of his connections to get a meeting in the first place. Which I think is also why he didn't tell me, as I had advised him against it.
Still, I'm glad you managed to get out of that conversation alive.
Alive, yeah. Well, definitely keep working on your defensive magic, that's for sure. It seems this whole school year has been non-stop. Especially if you're going to, not blaming Calder, but if you're going to hang around Calder, I think danger is going to follow.
Were the hags always interested in the blood cult? Do you know?
Blood cult itself was so... I had no idea there was even any relation there. The blood cult is a recent development. I mean, not that it hasn't been around, but that we discovered it was active. So we don't actually know all that much of what they were after or doing, aside from what we could figure out after the raid. They aren't talking either.
Thank you, Professor.
No problem. Good stuff. Let's see. Aspen, if you want, or others, if you want, like Gustav and Kells as well. They'll be putting on a memorial and kind of a wake for the school resource officer. So if you wanted to help out with that, you can.
I think we should all help because of house points.
Okay, hold on a second.
Because we're nice, but also house points.
Maybe because he saved us also. Maybe that.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that reason.
Yes.
Yeah. You also find out as more time goes on and they're figuring things out that there have been missing students, that they don't know where they are.
I mean, they know now.
Tim knows for a fact one of them got fed to Greer. Yeah. So, and obviously you haven't found those teachers either. So for now, they're focusing on the ones that they know. So the school resource officer, they know for a fact he's not just MIA. So they'll do his first. So, you guys help out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We'll say you guys get Phineas, we'll say you get 25 house points. Gustav, Aspen, and Kells, you guys can have 20 house points. You know, showing bravery, holding your own against a hag.
How far negative are you, Aspen?
Making sure everybody got alerted. We brought the teachers in.
Aspen,
Negative 30.
Oh, cool. Hey, you're getting up there.
Cool. And then for helping out with the detail, we'll say you guys get 10 more house points with the funeral and everything, or the wake and memorial.
Oh, you're so close.
Negative 20, baby.
It's almost back up to the point where you can clobber someone randomly without being immediately.
Gustav is probably positive now
Oh,
because
yeah.
you were negative. So you're
I was minus
probably
15.
even. Let's see. You are negative, negative 15. Okay. So yeah, you're definitely positive now.
Oh, that means you can go ask. You can try asking people out again.
Talks to Ophelia without a negative 30.
Yeah.
Cool. Anybody do anything else?
I should probably actually go to the counselor, whom in theory I've been seeing.
Yeah. I will say Dr. Katz has now officially taken the position because Miss Greco was like, I'm done.
Oh, Miss Greco, I have a
That's it.
wonderful story to tell you. It's like, nope.
Nope.
Yeah, that 3 hags were in the school. They said they're coming back.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with this hag kid. I'm out. And Dr. Katz figured it's a sign of like, okay, they're dealing with supernatural stuff. I actually do have experience here, so We'll do that. Okay. You guys all see the counselors? Good. Good. Cool. Misha, actually, let me.
Yeah, how many days until I'm hit with a really long vision session? Like, annoyingly long.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I'm so good at meditation. It's working out great for me. I haven't got any visions.
Yeah. We'll say during your counseling session, it hits you, and you are just drawing this very intricate drawing. And then your counselor, Dr. Ninto, looks over when you're done. He's like, "Oh my god," and then we'll end it.
Oh no!
Well, you have to put it in the thing so we can see it.
What?
She doesn't have to.
I mean, you should, though.
We have so much time to think about it.
No, but then I give you guys something to look forward to. I've got the
Okay,
hook.
fine. It's a lovely day at school, except all the students are hags.
Who knows?
Fine. Cool. So I am SJ or SJ_sidekick. This was Kids on Brooms. I think we named this one School Haze, which actually I think ended up being 3 episodes, which wasn't really planned that way. We were just going to kind of go. I don't stream. You might not see me for a while. We might get another game in. I don't know.
Okay, so if you all looked at the calendar,
Yes.
I've made
It's
3 more
stacked.
games.
It's stacked.
Perfect. Okay.
So you should double check your schedules if you haven't looked at the calendar, but I think it followed everyone's availability as it was entered in. So
Perfect. Cool. So we will continue Kids on Brooms. And there might be games after that. I will have a different background and maybe not such great connection, and I might have to travel to do it because I don't think I'll have my own room, but we'll see. To be determined. Yeah, let's start with Mish.
all right, I am Misha, or Misha_less_3. Here on Twitch, not that I stream, you can find me on Twitter, Dying, or Tumblr at @MishaWeha. Let's see. Yes, as far as the schedule, which you also double check to make sure you're still available, I have games on the 9th, the 11th, and the 20th for this thing, which I think was all remaining available times. And though I did sneak in and down the upstairs on the 13th because Warwick is hard to schedule with. So I picked the one day he was available in the next month. So that is what's on the calendar. Sin.
First and foremost, Warwick's pronouns are they/them. Anywho. Hi, I'm Sin or Sinful__potato on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, most social media sites. An art fight as well, which is a thing that people do, mostly artists, for like the whole month of July. We make art and attack each other. It's fun. I guess for the month of July, I am an art streamer on Twitch, so I'll be attempting to stream art every Monday and Friday, which means tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. Central. Cool stuff. Yeah, I've been playing Aspen. Aspen's now -20. I adjusted the spreadsheet to add more boxes because I'm running out of space. It's fine. Yeah. What?
Hello, I've been Twi'lek. I am Twi'lek indeed. And I have been playing Gustav, who is currently hoping that Mac was one of the students who got eaten. And
He did not.
Dang it.
alas, I will continue to be Gustav in future sessions. 0.
Yep. 00 and I've been playing Phineas. And cool. Interested in the next series, the next hopefully hag free series. Fingers crossed. So cool. And I will be in all the things that Misha so kindly pointed out to us. So yeah, you will be seeing more of us in the very near future. Cool. We should, I remember this time, we should say goodbye to our wonderful friends on YouTube later. So I don't have to sit here for 5 minutes as I try to figure out how to raid. So bye, everybody.